I step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Look at him.
Morning!
No, look at him, man.
Morning!
You small to medium-sized glass.
Thank you so much.
Glass of water. Look at you, man.
That's you, a tall drink of water and me,
man.
a shot glass. It works, thank you.
I've missed you guys.
I missed your face as well, I did.
And you. We've missed you as much. I know it's only been like 12 hours or so.
No, but it's still, I mean, like, I
been
missed
rough,
you a
man.
lot. I mean, you look good this morning. You
You really do. Just
Wow.
fix your hair a little bit like that. No, you look fantastic. You're going to conquer this day, and we are going to conquer this day with you, or at least give you the platform to do it. We're going to kickstart this Wednesday morning with a very food variety show, if you will. We are cooking up a storm in the kitchen. Break it down for us.
Okay, so the kitchen, I'm going to have to say it this way. Please forgive me. But you're going to have tortilla española.
Nice.
It's going to be a beautiful classic gogo mala orgueñina. There's also going to be chicken livers as well as shell noodles is going to be added to that dish. And then, of course, the culinary hotline bling with Chef Clem is going to be ting, 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 ting.
Levers, you spell with 3 E's, huh?
Sí.
Chicken levers.
Gracias.
Okay, we got it. We're also going to get some updates, obviously, on the current situation in KZN. I think it is beyond comprehension what people have gone through. And I think the most important part is so we'll all learn how we can lend a hand. And trust me, there is something you can do. Even if it's a small token, a gesture, we can all do something.
I know Raul is standing by. He's very excited to see you. Like he's been saying,
Elated.
oh, when is my turn? When's my turn? It's fine. Just give me a second because I can tell you that these couches from Goma Goma are so super comfy that I want to just take a little seat. Sorry, forgive me, please. Because I just want to reverse for a second. Do you feel that? Oh, yes.
Relaxation starts with the rump. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm going to miss these Goma Gomas. They're comfortable. They are quality. We know that. And, of course, they are manufactured locally, which
That's
we
it.
love. Proudly South African, just like us. And they are bringing masterful craftsmanship to furniture design. And I think it sets the tone for our entire day, really.
It does,
The
indeed.
arrogant tilt. I've spoken about it before. I am the master of all I survey. Now, actually, I can't bear it, the gloating that is coming from that side of the studio. It's actually a little overwhelming. It's like waves of gloat. This man must be the happiest man on the planet right now. Good morning, Ryle.
Not as comfortable as you guys, but definitely as happy as can be. I'm 4 times as happy today. 4 times as happy. I'm sure you know why. Yeah, my face is red with joy. Yes, because we got marching on to the top of the league. Good morning, Mzansi, for the Liverpool fans out there. Well done for last night. Topping the log, beating United. And, of course, we are cracking into the show. We'll talk about it in just a bit, but there's something even more important to chat about now because our people need us. And, obviously, you've heard about the floods in KZN that have wreaked havoc. And this is an opportunity for us. This is a call to action to you, Mzansi. We're going to try and do something a little bit different while we talk to you on our social media channels this morning. We want to find out from you, are you able to help out in any way? When it comes to the floods, when it comes to the KZN disaster, is there any way that you can help out? Is there any relief funding that you know of? Because we want to use this opportunity, and we're going to use our platform this morning to help our people, Mzansi. So come through on the social media platforms, use that hashtag so that we can share any help that you can assist with when it comes to KZN and the floods, and we want to come and share Mzansi's help and share that positivity with everybody. So come to the socials today, share whatever help that you can have so that we can share it with the rest of the world and the rest of KZN, and we can get something epic going today, obviously helping out the rest of our nation. Mzansi, let's do this. We got this. Come through on our socials. But for now, it's time to report on the news. It's just gone past the hour, and Carlitos is standing by.
Thanks a lot, Ryle. In fact, talking about those floods, let's start there for your national news. Now, Parliament is expected to schedule a joint sitting of both houses to consider and approve much-needed funding to repair infrastructure damaged by the devastating floods in KwaZulu-Natal. This follows President Cyril Ramaphosa's declaration of a national state of disaster. He also said he would write to Parliament's presiding officers to request the sitting take place next week. Ramaphosa said costs would run into billions of rands in KZN for the rebuilding of infrastructure and loss of production. KwaZulu-Natal Premier Zihle Sagalala says 6 search and rescue teams are constantly searching for people who are still missing after the flood disaster in the province, and the rescue workers have found 5 more bodies, bringing the death toll due to heavy rain and mudslides to 448. Zigalala says the national state of disaster declared underscores the magnitude of the crisis. Meanwhile, Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan has said that Durban Harbour is fully operational. Operations came to a standstill for some 36 hours last week, and that was due to flooding. On to international news. Mali has received another batch of military equipment from Russia after the European Union suspended its military training program with the Sahel nation. Now, Mali's Armed Forces Chief, Major General Omar Diarra, received 2 combat helicopters. The presidency shared a video showing the choppers as they were delivered by a Russian cargo flight at the airport in the capital Bamako. Last month, Mali received 2 Russian-made combat helicopters and radar shortly after reports that its defense minister and Air Force chief had discreetly visited Moscow. The Speaker of the British House of Representatives, meanwhile, Lindsay Hoyle, has agreed that the Labour Party, which is the opposition in the British government, may table a motion on the actions of Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The debate is over whether Johnson misled MPs regarding violating COVID-19 regulations. The motion will be tabled today. It is unlikely that it will carry, but, well, because Johnson's Tories have a large majority in the House of Commons. Now, wrapping up on this note, and it's quite a sad one, multi-award winning Afro-pop musician and songwriter Lira has suffered a stroke. Lira, whose real name is Lerato Molapo, has been hospitalized. The much-loved R&B Afro-soul singer suffered a stroke while in Germany. In a statement last night, her family said that she recently traveled to Germany for a performance but suffered a stroke while there. As a result, her ability to communicate, particularly her speech, has been impacted. The feel-good hitmaker, who is 44 years old, is currently undergoing treatment in South Africa and being attended to by a top medical team. The team says her journey to recovery will require some patience, and it's unlikely that she will be able to perform in the short term. Lira is, however, in high spirits. She's surrounded by her loving family, and of course there will be some updates for you on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Lira is, however, in high spirits as mentioned, so we just want to say to her and her family, strength, we've got your back. As we move on to sport, Graham is standing by.
Yeah, thank you, Carl. And certainly our thoughts go out to Lira and her family as we turn now to our sporting highlights from last night. And yes, the reason why Real is bouncing off the walls, Liverpool have done it. They've moved to the top of the table, at least for a couple of hours, with a pretty commanding 4-0 win over their arch rivals, Manchester United, at Anfield. So the Reds opened the scoring after just 5 minutes. Diaz tapping in a Mo Salah cross. Salah got his name on the score sheet soon after that, profiting from a brilliant, almost a mind-boggling pass from Sadio Mane. The Senegalese star scoring in the second half before Salah got his double, and that was inside the final 5 minutes. Then Man City will have the opportunity to reclaim that top spot as they take on the Seagulls. Brighton in one of 4 games tonight, and a big game in the race for the top 4 as Chelsea host Arsenal, while Everton, they'll be looking to boost their performances of late, taking on Leicester, and then Newcastle play Palace. And staying with footballing news, doesn't get any easier for Bafana. Morocco and South Africa have been paired together in a heavyweight group for the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. They get underway in June this year, but they might have one less country to contend with on the road to the finals in the form of the Ivory Coast. Morocco are top seed in Group K, Bafana second, but they're also paired with Liberia and Zimbabwe, who are suspended by FIFA and unlikely to be able to compete at this stage, at least. Both Kenya and Zimbabwe were included in the draw by the Confederation African Football in case their suspension are lifted before the qualifiers kick off in June this year, as I said. Then on to cricket. Well, he has dispelled any questions about his form. Faf du Plessis and pacer Josh Hazlewood put up brilliant individual performances to lead the Royal Challengers Bangalore to an 18-run win over the Lucknow Super Giants in their IPL match yesterday. So du Plessis led the way with a fabulous fabulous 96 of just 64 balls, featuring 11 fours and 2 sixes, as RCB posted 181 for 6. LSG's chase didn't start well, thanks to some brilliant bowling from Josh Hazelwood. The Australian pacer struck early for RCB, dismissing danger man Quinton de Kock for just 3 runs in the 3rd over. Might have made all the difference there. Then he went on to take another 3 wickets to finish with figures of 4 for 25 in his 4 overs. Then staying with cricket, Heinrich Klaasen will lead the South African A teams that will take on Zimbabwe's 11 in 8 matches from the 25th of this month to the 10th of May. So the squads are bursting with South Africa's brightest domestic provincial stars like Kaya Zondo, Tiana Stebrain, Pernellen Subrayan, Tony de Zorza, Gerald Coetzee and Tristan Stubbs, who've all put their hands up this season. There are several regulars of the Proteas team to look out for as well, looking to get into top form. Andile Petlakwaya, Reza Hendricks, Bjorn Fortuin, Luto Sapamla, Lazard Williams and Ryan Rickleton. So a squad brimming with talent. And all of those games will be played at the Harare Sports Club. We'll certainly keep an eye on that, but that's where we leave our sport for now. During these crazy times, vital that we keep an eye on the weather. Let's get the latest from Raul.
Thanks so much, G. Now, of course, to take a look at the weather for the first time this morning and report on weather news. And, of course, KZN floods are taking over the headlines. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa claims the KZN flood disaster is part of climate change. But what role has climate change actually played? Now, the weather system which triggered the flood, which led to in excess of 300 millimeters of rainfall being dumped over a 24-hour period on the 11th of April. Now, that's much more than compared with previous episodes of serious flooding, which in 2019 had 165 millimeters falling on the 22nd of April, and in 2017, 108 millimeters was recorded on the 10th of October. Now, the amount of rain which fell was equal to about 75% of SA's average annual precipitation. Now, Tafadwa Shananesh Mabaudi of the University of KwaZulu-Natal says the weather was typical of the type that develops off the coast of South Africa. Now, the SA Weather Service said it's not correct to attribute individual weather events occurring over short timescales to longer-term trends, such as global warming. But he did add that severe and extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and more extreme as a result of climate change. Well, from weather developments, we move on to these sunrise images captured by our talented viewers. And that's you, Mzansi. Now, Somaya Conrad from Wynberg starting us off this morning with a stunning shot overlooking the city, showing off an early morning low-lying haze. And wow, what beautiful colors coming through from the mountain right there. Next up, Andrew Neil Harris from Belito, sharing some sunshine after the rain, showing off this beautiful blue sky as the sun casts a glow through the clouds. Oh, what a beautiful ray of color coming through there, and what a way to start the day. Mzansi, thank you so much for sending these pictures in. For now, though, it's time to take a look at the temperatures across the country. And starting off in Polokwane, today starting at 11, moving all the way to 19 degrees with the rainfall coming through. Mbombela, 14, moving up to 21 with rain. Pretoria starts the day at 11, moving up to 21 with minimal rainfall. But Johannesburg also very much similar with the rain, a little bit of drizzle. 9 is your low, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. Over in Mahikeng now, the day starting at 10, moving up to 23 degrees. Klerksdorp sees a start of 8, moving up to 24. Kimberley, moderate or minimal rain, but a little bit of drizzle potentially. 10 moving up to 25, and much the same for Bloemfontein. 6 is your low, moving up to a high of 23 degrees Celsius. Over now to Richards Bay, where the day starts at 15, moving up to 25 degrees with rainfall coming through. Much the same for Pietermaritzburg. Less rain, though, with a low of 10 and a high of 25. Durban sees the day starting at 15, moving up to 25. And Mthatha sees the day starting at 12, moving up to a high of 27 degrees. Over now in East London, where the rain is always welcome. 17 is your low, moving up to 26, but no rainfall all the way through. Sunny skies expected, and much the same for Craddock with a low of 10 and a high of 29 degrees. Gqeberha, much the same with the sunny skies, 16 moving up to 26, and George, 15 is your low, moving up to a nice warm 30 degrees Celsius. Over in Cape Town, the sunny skies continue, 15 being your low, moving up to 28 degrees. Worcester, much the same, 15 moving up to 34 degrees. Sutherland, not as chilly a start, moves up from 11 all the way to 25. And Uppington, 14 is your start, moving up to a nice warm sunny 30 degrees Celsius. That's the first look at the weather this morning. We will touch base with it in an hour. For now, though, let's touch base with the rest of the team and see what else we can expect from the show.
Do you see that smile on his face? He's that
no.
gloating all the way through. He's not going to let it slide.
but just enjoy it while it lasts, my friend. City, Brighton tonight, I think things might change. But no, I don't want to ruin your buzz, dude.
Yeah.
You love it. Oh, all of this nonsense has made me thirsty, dude. I'm
That's fine. Don't, I've got something for you.
Thank you, my friend.
And maybe
Thank you.
Ryle as well.
Okay, well, then I'll add a nice dish to go with our refreshment. We're going to be making a tortilla español.
Yes!
In fact, you can hear the beginnings of it snap, crackle, and popping in the corner there.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you, sunshine.
I've got you covered, so don't worry about that. Also, Elizabeth Sue is our performer today. I'll get to know her on our lovely Goma Goma a little bit later. But cheers to you and a fantastic
cheers to you, man.
Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. I hope you're feeling good this morning because we have talent on our couch today. We are joined this morning by a super talented musician and songwriter, as well as a singer, of course, by the name of Elizabeth Sue. And in 2013, Elizabeth Sue won the Battle of the Bands competition with one of her original songs and is currently in the process of recording and producing her own compositions and hopes to release an album one day. Let's take a quick peek at the talent that is Elizabeth Sue.
Every day, every minute passing me by. Free me from falling down. Free me from falling down.
Please welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Elizabeth Sue.
Thank you very much, Cole.
How's it?
Lekker en jy?
You're lekker. It's so good to see you. Is it still weird seeing yourself on the screen when you're like watching yourself?
It's very, very weird.
Yeah, it never stops, trust me.
It never.
It never stops. It's okay. But it's all right because we love seeing you, so which is great. But let's start off music, the vibe, the thing that really bit you. I know everybody's got like a story around somebody saying, Elizabeth Sue, you should actually give it a shot, give it a try. They push you into the line of a reality TV show or the Battle of the Bands, and next thing you know, you're winning. Who was that person, or what was that moment where you thought like you could take music seriously?
Sure, Cole, it started at a very young age.
All right.
I think in primary school, Bell Park Primary, I started with a recorder, in Afrikaans, the blokfluit.
The recorder?
The recorder.
Why did they make us learn the recorder in
I
primary
think
school?
it's a beautiful
Do
instrument.
you think so?
Yeah,
Are
definitely.
you going to record a song on the recorder soon?
You never know. So I would definitely say my music teacher, Miss Marina Potgieter, if you're watching today, hello. I started off with a recorder, but then eventually, being young and not knowing music that well, or not being surrounded with a lot of musicians, I started ending up going to people's houses that had different musical instruments. So obviously, when I saw the acoustic guitar for the first time, I knew I was hooked for life.
Yeah.
Started waitering, saving money, and bought my first second-hand guitar. And from that moment, it never stopped.
That is power, especially the waitering thing. Because I think people look at retail and they think, it's just retail. But there's something so special about trying your best. And every tip you got, you knew you were heading towards getting this guitar, right?
Saving, budgeting. No, that's life.
And this is great, and we have to, because it's okay to save, plan, and budget for your dream. And you've done just that. And we are so happy because we get to see you perform later. Let's talk about your single out, Opstaan Prachtig.
Yes.
I'd love to know a bit more about the writing behind it and what inspired the track.
Yes, Cole, sure. That song I started writing about 3 years ago. And, it was literally a moment, like all my songs that I write is obviously coming from the heart, and it's real life experiences. But basically, the song is about, where you should get up in the morning, never compare yourself with the person next to you, and always do that one thing in the morning that you enjoy, like a cup of coffee, whatever it is that makes you happy, yoga, a cup of coffee, whatever it is, do that to get your day started. And I started the song about 3 years ago, and then obviously with the help of Carl Peterson that produced the song and just colored in the song so beautifully, we completed it. And yeah, I'm very excited to perform it later on.
I feel like that song is perfect for a show like this because you wake up and enjoy your feel-good breakfast show, which is so good. So, opstaan prachtig. Hello, you must opstaan. It's important. What about the other track, Free Me? Because there's another song that feels liberating. It feels, sort of natural. And there's something about it, very expressive as well.
Yes, Cole, that song is also, like I said, all my songs that I write is real life stories.
Yeah.
I would call myself a storyteller, maybe, in a way. But, my mom battled cancer for 16 years. And it's still taking me a long time. It's something that you learn to live with. And I wrote that song specifically just for everybody out there that's going through the same thing. We all battle with something. And, there's people out there that's really, really sick, that's going through horrible and terrible times.
Yes.
So that song was something that I did in the isolation period. It was very, very deep and emotional. But I think it's also good to put that type of music out there to express yourself.
Indeed. That's why I could feel that. And I think that's the power of music. It becomes a vehicle for a bit of therapy, which is exactly what you're going to get in your Feel Good Breakfast Show a little bit later. So, opstaan prachtig. Elizabeth Sue is here to make sure that you are entertained on this beautiful show on S3 as we stand by to find out what the gents are cooking up.
Yeah, we're cooking up something special. And let me tell you, Elizabeth Sue coming at you later, she's not your standard performer. And this isn't your standard omelette. Now, it's got the golden brown onions that are coming through, soft potatoes and chorizo, all encompassed in New-Laid's fluffy eggs. How good does that sound, Zanzi? Now, this tortilla espanola is a simple yet truly flavorful dish. It's served alongside a fresh smoky tomato sauce, which we're going to lock down now. And breakfast will never be the same after this one. Yelashas, how okay, Sue? It's the G-Man.
We're going to do it together, my friend.
Let's do this, man.
This is something that I haven't actually made before. I love my omelets, and I love kind of finding new ways, because our kids love omelets as well.
Yeah.
Never used chorizo before, and I feel like I've been sleeping on this my entire life. How come we never use this?
Especially when you get your New-Laid eggs. I mean, there's so many ways you can make a good breakfast. This is one of them, right?
And you can eat as many eggs as you like. It's been proven on the show. You can eat as many eggs as you like. Yeah.
Okay.
They are the healthiest. They are little pots of gold. We love our New-Laid, and we've gone for 6 large. So what we're going to kind of piece together here is a delicious kind of Spanish-inspired omelette. Obviously, the chorizo adding those flavors, and man, that tomato sauce, the smoky tomato sauce.
I'm excited for this. I'm so excited.
It's going to take it to a different level. Okay.
Before we get to it, though,
so what we've done is we've thinly sliced the potatoes so that they'll cook a bit more quickly. Cook those off nice brown so that they're soft, and we've cooked the onion because they're not going to have a lot of time to cook in the omelette.
Right.
The chorizo you don't need to cook because it's cured meat. If you wanted to fry it up, it's up to you, but I like it like that, perfectly
You're one of those guys
suitable.
that samples it as you're cooking. I know you
we had 3 strips before this. I actually had a big bowl, but it's all gone.
Here we ingredient coming through. What are we doing with this?
Okay, so we start with we're going to use all 6 New-Laids because we're not making small individual omelettes. Once this is kind of out in its big omelette form, you can cut it into quarters and a family can share it. And I would even suggest then you have like a big bowl of your dipping sauce in the middle, and you just
Before we get into the dipping sauce, let's talk about this hero ingredient, because trusting where your food comes from has become easier, and that's with New-Laid's farm-to-table movement. Now, they've ensured that you are getting the freshest eggs straight from the source and onto your plate, just like this one over here. So with New-Laid's wide range of eggs to choose from, not only do they contribute to a variety of needs, but they also deliver great nutrients and freshness. We're talking good fats, we're talking good protein. I eat these things every single day. It's the encompassment of my body as well, G. And right now, we're going to show you how to do something special. I think I'm going to get onto the sauce.
Yeah,
I'll mix
do
it up,
that, man,
because this is another hero ingredient, Mzansi. What we got here is kind of going to give it that salsa feel, give it that spiciness. We've got some chopped up onions over here. We've got some garlic as well. We've got tomato paste as well as paprika, and then a lot of tomatoes, because essentially this is a spicy tomato
Buddy, and
sauce at the end of it all. Yeah.
smoked paprika is on a different level.
Oh, yeah,
Once you
man.
go smoked, you never go back, my friend.
It really is, but it's also that smokiness in the paprika. It has somewhat of a sweetness to it. It's such a beautiful balanced spice for me. It's something that's going to make this come together, and you want to try and get this to blend up as smooth as possible, because we're not done just yet.
No, sir.
Yeah. Oh, and the tomatoes obviously made up from so much water.
Beautiful.
Look at that. We've got a smooth tomato sauce coming through there. And this is perfect for the next step, which is going into the pan over there by UG for about 10 minutes. You want it to reduce. You want to get some more of the flavors coming through. And that's going to give you the perfect dipper, as you mentioned earlier. Oh, it's
It looks
good.
beautiful. I can smell the smokiness from here. So
Yes.
at my little station, I've got my omelette pan on the go.
So the eggs are in that mixture
The
already,
eggs,
right?
the cream, a little bit of salt and
Yeah.
pepper, a bit of cheese, all in there. And we're going to add the slightly more bulkier pieces here. And see, this is why it's important to pre-cook the stuff just a bit.
Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself now as well, like the crunchier you want them in the omelette or in the spanola, essentially, the longer you want to kind of pre-cook that and pre-prepare those onions. I know a lot of us love that caramelized texture as well, so you got to go wild with the prep before you actually chuck it in there.
And that's it, buddy. So a little bit of oil in our omelette pan.
And let the
then
magic begin.
we simply pour this baby in there. And you're not going to be folding the edges and flipping this one. So what we're going to do is we've got a plate there, which will make it a little bit easier. Let's try and spread these ingredients.
So you kind of just let it do its thing now, right?
Yeah, and obviously not too high a heat. We're obviously rushing things a little bit for the purposes of today. But you want it to kind of cook through nice, and just imagine, as that egg's cooking, it's drawing in the flavors of the chorizo, of the onion, of everything else. And when you are ready to flip it, all you got to do is take a flat plate, put it on top of the pan, turn it upside down, and then you just simply slide it back in. It's the easiest way to do
Cut your
it.
portions up, you got your sauce, and you got the inspiration from expressoshow.com. If you just tuned in, shame on you, but don't worry, you can find all the inspiration right on that website, expressoshow.com. It's got an inspiration that you need. It's got various ways to to obviously crack open a new laid egg and make something special when it comes to breakfast, bakes, desserts, you name it, we got you covered.
Oh, you can make my day.
Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for dialing in. Now, after a fantastic long weekend filled with hopefully loads of festivities, yes, a lot of food, we'd like to thank all of our mamas out there for all their hard work and, of course, those delicious dishes. Quality family time and the memories made over the Easter period are cherished forever. As a parent, I've realized how important those moments actually are. So we've been asking you guys, all of you amazing moms out there, to join the Easter holiday conversation. And we are loving your hashtag Real Mom Stories. Now, one comment that really did stood out for us, that kind of tugged on the heartstrings, came from Loa Moropane, who dedicated his story to his mama, and we haven't seen that before. So they've not only won themselves the awesome air fryer, but will also be sharing their hashtag Real Mom Story with us on the show today. And in fact, we've got them on the line right now. Can I get a round of applause and a massive congratulations to Loa and Khomotso?
Yeah, thank you.
Loa, you definitely get it from your mama. I love to hear their excitement. So you've done the first part, you've won the air fryer, so congratulations. But I want to delve into what you wrote, Loa, because this was really special. So you commented on our post saying, Mom always prepares our Good Friday and Easter meals a day before. She wants us all there to help with the different dishes that she cooks for us. Our Easter breakfast is always filled with simply chicken patties and polony with eggs and tomato. It sounds delicious. Hashtag Real Mom. That story is super sweet and it sounds absolutely delicious as well. And I've got to ask you now, Loa, what was the standout meal you had this Easter weekend? Did you get your fix? Did you get to have your magical moments with your mama this Easter?
Yes, it was. Because everyone at home enjoyed the dish. And we even had to ask for more. Yes, that's how delicious it was.
I love it. So, Mama, you did what you needed to do. Khomotso, congratulations to you. I'm sure you're really proud of your boy right now.
Thank you so much.
And I'm so glad. As I said, this is the first time that a son has nominated his mom for this prize, which is so cool. But I've got to ask you, Khomotso, as a mother, you're obviously faced with juggling daily responsibilities. What's the secret to getting the balancing act right? How do you get it right as a mom?
Oh, well, as a baby mom, I prefer to be organized so early. So I normally start my day early. I wrap up all my household chores by 8 or 12 in the morning to ensure I have minimal interruptions once I open my laptop.
I love it, man. You've got to be focused, and then, of course, it does help if mealtime is a little bit simpler, and an air fryer, all of the winners have told us, will change your life. So that is on its way to you. Khomotso, what is the first thing you're going to cook in your brand new air fryer?
Oh, definitely. Rainbow Simply Crispy Chicken Breast.
Nice. I love it. And hopefully you're going to invite Loa over for dinner. Loa, I've got to ask, what do you love most about your mom's cooking? Why were you so inspired to write in on her behalf?
The first thing and the most important thing is because the food is made out of love.
Yeah, man.
When there's love, there's laughter, and you share all the stories, and then we cook and make delicious meals.
I love it, man. And it looks like this is a family tradition that you're going to keep going through generations. I love the fact that as a proud son, you nominated your amazing mama. So I hope both of you are feeling very proud of each other right now and really excited because the air fryer is on its way and you are in the draw for that grand prize of 10,000 Rand. So we'll be holding thumbs for both of you, but wishing you a belated happy Easter and saying have the most amazing day. Guys, congratulations. Thank you so much for connecting with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Khomotso and Loa, beautiful mom and son pair who have won big this morning. Now, keeping things simple has never been so easy. As Khomotso said, all you got to do is follow @SimplyChickenZA on Instagram for quick and easy recipes. And remember, there is a new chance to win an air fryer every week with Simply Chicken. To be this week's lucky winner like Khomotso, simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter or Instagram page and just tell us your hashtag hashtag Real Mom Easter Holiday Stories. Not only do you then stand the chance of winning the air fryer, but also a chance to tell your story, have a chat with us live on the show, and automatically be entered into the draw for the grand cash prize of a cool 10,000 Rand. Don't forget that all-important hashtag Real Mom in that answer, though. And then just please be aware, the competition closes Friday, the 22nd of April at midday, so you don't have a huge amount of time. But you can find all of the terms and conditions and more culinary inspiration on expressoshow.com. Good luck.
It's very catchy, that song, eh?
It's
I can feel that now.
Yeah.
It was very vibey. Now, you know that Easter may be over, but that doesn't mean that the bunnies have to take a little bit of a break, because I want to introduce you to something called Chicken Hair, a young hero. It does feel that way. Chicken Hair. A young hero born half chicken and half hare, who was adopted by King Peter, a famous hare adventurer, and eager to fit in and feel loved despite his differences. Chicken Hair is obsessed with adventuring, no matter how clumsy he is.
Now, when the kingdom's greatest villain, his own uncle, in fact, escapes from jail and threatens to overthrow his father, Chicken Hair embarks on an epic quest along with Abe, a sarcastic turtle, and Meg, a martial arts expert skunk, to stop him. So let's catch up on catch a glimpse of this epic tale right now.
This is it, Abe. Moment of truth. Remember my 3 keys to success? Don't screw up. Come on! I can't watch. But I can't look away. When your Uncle Lapin and I went searching for the hamster of darkness, finding you was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Ow! I can't believe we gotta be seen with that freak chicken hair.
Everybody laughs at me, Dad.
What'd you expect? He's mostly chicken.
No, he's mostly hair.
Chicken hair.
It sounds like they're cheering for you. Chicken hair, chicken hair, chicken. If I can bring back the hamster of darkness, everyone shall accept me. I'm okay.
Need a guide? I'm Meg. Follow in my footsteps and you'll be okay.
Well, that's too bad. Looks like we'll have to head back.
Follow me. To enter the temple, one must pass the 3 deadly trials.
Why can't it ever be 2 trials?
Get them.
Watch out! I'm going down! Don't move! All of us are born with things that make us different.
Who's ready to ride?
The only choice we have is recognize that our differences are what make us special.
Here we go. Oh, please. You couldn't have brought the extra large whip, could you, Meg?
How many flying hairs have you ever seen? You have wings, don't you? I can't fly! You can fly! See? I can't fly!
That looks super exciting. I'm looking forward to that one. It's fun, and it's for the entire family. So if you want to go see it, it's opening in cinemas this Friday, the 22nd of April. So go take the fam and go enjoy something original and amazing.
It's going to be a good one. Bring the kids, of course. It's not just fun for the adults. It's not just entertainment, but there's also valuable lessons to be learned in this one. Go get it.
Thank you so much. Looks amazing. Something that the little ones and the immature adults will love as well. I'm speaking to you guys right now, the adults, I mean. Babies have thousands of growing taste buds in their mouths, and introducing a variety of flavors and textures into your baby's diet will make for a more exciting experience. This is where you teach them about food, about taste. This is where they start to hone what their flavors are. 8 months is the window period in which babies are most receptive to new flavors and textures. So go ahead and be as adventurous as you can. Have some fun, yo. And we, of course, are going to have some fun right now with the lovely chef Chumi, as she shows us how to make a snack our babies and us will probably simply love. Yes.
You just call me an immature adult. 'Cause
Yes.
I watch cartoons.
Yes, I know. We all do. No, the second you have a young child, you become an immature adult because you spend your life watching
That means
cartoons.
my whole life has been an immature adult.
100%, girl, and we love it. We embrace it. Isn't this just the most exciting time, especially for you being a chef?
Yes.
Thinking about activating your child's taste buds.
And you mentioned the whole 8-month thing. Introduce new flavors to your kid. Now your child is eating all these different things, and you know what happens? There's a tendency for kids to have constipation because there's so much happening in
the little system gets overloaded.
So this is the perfect snack for that because it also is high in fiber, so it really is good to make sure that they stay regular, you know? Because the last thing you want as a parent is to look at that poor little child straining away. You want to make sure that they're balanced
and they're happy and healthy.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, this is beautiful and it's really simple. Why is it so important, though, as a mom or a parent to have snacks on hand?
Because they are always hungry. That's the most important thing. They are always
Where's my
hungry.
boy? Are you listening right now, dude? Yeah.
Always. There is not a day where those mouths are still.
Yeah.
If they're not talking, they're eating.
Because they move and they are playing and they are active and they are burning calories all the time and their brain is growing. They need to refuel that. I love that. Okay, so what's gone into the pot
All right,
so far?
so we've got some flour that's going into these cookies, and then we also have some oat flour, which in essence is literally just oats that we've just blended up. If you don't have oat flour, just take some oats, grind it up in your blender, and then you can add it into this mixture.
Beta glucan now making its way into our biscuits. Yeah, man.
And then we add some baking powder, a bit of salt in there, and then we add some chia seeds, which is also another layer of that fiber that we're talking about.
Yeah, and chia seeds have been knocking on the door of the superfood group for a while now.
You know?
I think a lot of people have been kind of caught up in, this is one of those things, like you can soak them overnight, you can do a lot of interesting things with them, but the health benefits never ending.
Immense. And you mentioned something really important. You mentioned the brain development. So the chia seeds in there, the prune flavor that we're adding, because we're adding our purity prunes into here. So you remember I spoke about that fiber, I spoke about that making sure they balance. This is where the
prune is good for the gut. Yo, prune is good for the gut. I love it. Now, just to expand on that, and we're using the jars here, obviously, and each stage is identified by its age appropriateness. So 6 months for introducing solids, 7 months for introducing a bit more variety, and then 8 months is where the fun really starts happening, introducing texture, and then 10 months introducing more texture and preparing your child for table food. And I think a lot of people think that only comes later, but that's when the fun really kicks off. So as your baby grows, they obviously need solid foods for the necessary iron, for the nutrients they need to grow and develop during that essential stage. And introducing solids not only gives them the experience of new tastes and textures, but also helps to develop their teeth and their jaws, which obviously they'll need when they talk. Early childhood development is a wondrous thing, and I love the fact that food is tied into so much of it.
Exactly, and that's the good thing to know, that you've got products like Purity that actually have your back in making sure that all these bases are covered with all the nutrients you need and so forth.
And of course, you can't be cooking up a treat all the time, so sometimes you need to rely on that pouch or that jar.
You do, and it's also great for that snacking. You know, before supper's ready, you want to make sure that there's something they can snack on. So this is where these snacks come in, those pouches come in. If you've got these on hand, just have them in the cupboard, and then sometimes I used to snack on them as well. I know they're made for kids, but when I also need
well, the
something
thing is, you know how
go.
pure they are, and we've sat here with Kath McGaw, one of the, I think, most respected childhood dietitians in the country, and she's been working with Purity for 5 years now to ensure that you are getting exactly that, purity.
Purity.
It is such good quality, clean ingredients going into these pouches, and these, I mean, make them as rough and ready as you want. They are part of a tactile adventure for your child as much as anything else. So give them something they can hold and crunch.
And that's why I'm not shaping them up to be anything specific, because you want them to also look at and play with it, be curious about what it is and enjoy it as well. You don't want it to be too simple and boring. You want them to ask themselves, what exactly is this? And that's the thing about making fun for kids. You keep it exciting as well.
Can you stop them from feeding it to the dog? I don't know. That's your challenge. But there you have it. Simple, easy, delicious. It is Purity's range that is not only offering that extra texture required, but also tasty varieties to test our little ones' likes and dislikes when it comes to flavors. Think about that palate that's developing and growing. And to get your hands on this particular delicious and very nutritious recipe, all you got to do is phone to me up, invite it to your house. No, we can just go to our website, expressoshow.com. In fact, that's where we house all of our culinary inspiration, all of our recipes, cook along, post pictures, especially if your baby is really dirty while eating. We absolutely love it. This is a good one. Well done.
Awesome.
I need to taste.
I hope you always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing. It all begins with purity.
What's beta-glucan? Hello, do you know what beta-glucan is? What is beta-glucan? No one knows what beta-glucan is.
Beta-glucan is a natural fiber in jungle oats that helps lower cholesterol and keep hearts well.
Yes.
Jungle, do life with heart.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right. Riley Pants, picture this, okay? It's the Easter weekend.
Yeah.
And you're just casually in store at your favorite game before 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Doing your weekend shopping. You happen to spend 500 Rand or more. And just like that, you get to take a swing at the game pinata Easter egg to stand a chance of winning. How awesome is that?
That is really cool. I haven't done one of those in like ages. Well, look at this. Tabiso was in store this weekend to try his hand at the big smash, but also to see who won big. Let's go find out.
Okay, imagine this. Imagine being 20,000 Rand richer. How does that sound to you? It excites me, and I'll tell you what. 1 of 3 people will walk out of a game store with 1 of 3 20,000 Rand game shopping vouchers. And that's part of their game, Easter Egg Pinata Smash, which they're going to be doing. And of course, you know me. I never miss out on any action, so I came to Canal Walk. Let's go check it out. Shahid, man of the moment, you are the store manager here at the game store at Canal Walk. It's a big day, the Easter Egg Pinata Challenge. The day has finally arrived. Tell me all about it.
First 3 customers that spends money in game, and they will be spun around and they will have to smash the pinata. So the one that smashed it open, that will be the one that wins the 20,000 rand.
As part of the game family, I know that game is all about giving epic experiences to its customers. What do you think that all of the customers walking through today are going to take out of this experience?
It's all about giving. It's Easter, and you can always win at games. So if you've got game, then game's got you.
Yeah, I'm actually excited. It's a nice surprise to walk into game this morning and to have this opportunity to win some money.
And it sounded a bit too good to be true, and I waited, and we'll see what happens.
I think there's something funny in between that ball when it's difficult to bring it up to pieces.
I think that activations like this are just so important. People are always wanting to be surprised, delighted, excited, and thrilled by the brands that they engage with on a regular basis. Game certainly does do that a lot, and to see that happening, especially during this period, you know, with holidays and all of that, is just the cherry on top.
Has just lowered down. Okay, whoa! We've got a winner, ladies and gentlemen! Give him a massive round of applause. You have just won 20,000 rand of a game voucher. It is yours, sir. Use it, make use of it, show the world. He's going to have lots of friends now.
I think my wife is very lucky. She just got 20,000 rand, and that's about it.
The man of the hour, AB. Congratulations. I mean, I saw you smashing it over here, over there, everywhere. And you're the winner, 20,000 rand.
Can I say, happy? Took 3 turns from my side, but I did it. It's done.
The first time you weren't so sure what to do with it. Then the second time you were like sort of figuring it out. And then the third time you went like a ninja, almost slicing it in half. You went, key. And then you smashed it.
I looked inside and I saw there was like basically cardboard all around, and there was gaps, like slits in between, and that's why I decided to go over it.
And how do you feel now? I mean, you got this 20,000 rand voucher, which I believe you are gifting to your beautiful wife.
That's correct.
Yeah?
She doesn't know yet. Waiting for her. She's somewhere in the mall.
Is she in the shop?
Somewhere.
In the mall?
Yeah.
We have to find this lady.
It's for her. She can decide whatever she needs to spend it on. It's fine.
A good man. All of the best. Congratulations, you're a rock star. Next time I need to hit, smash, break anything open, I'm calling you. All right? Yes. And
That is a great idea for the company. It's a great idea for the customer. As the company is saying, this year is a year for customers. So make sure that all the customers that come to the store, they're happy with the product that they buy in the store, as well giving something back to the customers in for the Easter.
Now that is how you smash yourself into the world of 20,000 rand richer. That was lots of fun. Listen to this. Game is without a doubt the #1 destination for all of your holiday purchases because they've got the best prices and deals guaranteed. And they store opening hours Monday to Friday, 9 till 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 9 till 5, and on Sundays and public holidays, 9 till 4. Go out there and show us that you have got game. Yeah. I'm out.
You don't get to go, eh? You don't get to play, Rude.
I'm getting warmed up. You're supposed to what?
But I would use the samurai move, eh? You've got to use the samurai chop. That was amazing.
Wow, can you imagine that 20K just like that, just smashing through the pinata?
Would you go home and think about what you're going to spend it on, or would you go straight and buy something?
I'd probably be so excited and just drop it all in one go. Yeah, give it to me. Oh, absolute magic, absolute awesome stuff. And thank you, Tabisa, for checking out the Magic Garden, the game stores, and hopefully you can be a winner one day. So get head into the store. 9 o'clock it opens up, and good luck.
Oh, that pinata's calling your name, my friend.
excitement. I love it. And the thing is, we've got a different type of game in the kitchen because, can I tell you, when it comes to this business, serious business, it's important to get the right type of chef along with you. Now, it's autumn, and there's still the opportunity to enjoy the outdoors with a glass of Crush 100% in your hand. And as we explore all things Spanish, there's a Spanish theme in Estudio Today. Most popular drinks, one of the most popular drinks in Spain is called the sangria. And this is going to come together with Crush 100%. So we've got Chef Chumi to take us through a sangria.
There's autumn everywhere else in the world. In South Africa, there's only summer and winter.
That's correct.
Because we don't recognize autumn, spring.
But we're also very resistant to all of the temperatures. Have you noticed that? It's always a talking point. It's like, oh, it's hot, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hot. And then there's a temperature, degree below the next day. Oh, it's cold.
Yeah, winter's coming, man. Coming early this year.
Sure. That's right. Like, there's no middle ground here. But it's cool because we're all about extremes. We're passionate people.
Yeah.
We are.
We always like to go all the way 100% into whatever we do. And that's why this drink is perfect for anyone, because it keeps you refreshed, keeps you awakened, and it gives you all those flavors that you need.
Yes,
and
indeed.
Also going sangria.
We're using, yes. And I mean, look at Crush 100%. It's got so many vitamins in it. It's great. In fact, it's delicious and it's refreshing. It's a fruit juice blend, as you may know, and Clover Crush has no added sugar, thank goodness, or sweeteners. None of that in there. It's enriched with vitamin A, C, and E for your 100% goodness. Now, sangria, as you may know, it is a bit different, okay? There are some other elements to it, as you understand, but we are going to make our version, which is going to be nutritious, delicious, and not lose any of those sort of sangria-esque type of vibes, which
and you know, a sangria is made with a base of different kinds of flavors, different kinds of fruits. So I'm going to need you to slice up some oranges for us because we want those in there.
All right.
I'm slicing up some apples. What I've done is I've cored them with an apple corer. If you don't have this, you're more than welcome to just take a knife and go in there and just...
Okay, but the corer is cooler. I don't have one of those yet.
The corer is cooler because it
so it might disappear today. Nice.
These actual beautiful rounds that we've got here. And it literally is about having fun. So if you have other types of fruits in the house, add whatever you've got. Add some berries into there. If you've got some fresh cranberries as well, you can add them as well, just for that pop of color. Because we are also using the cranberry flavors here. We've got our Clover Crush cranberry and our Clover Crush orange. So we're getting two types of flavors here. We're getting the citrus, which works now this time of the year because of that vitamin C. And then we get the cranberry, which is also beautiful. Also has all those ACEs in there, vitamins A, C, and E.
ACE!
ACE!
But I love the citrus. The citrus is essentially in the sort of original recipe of a sangria. It's actually one of the things that offset some of the other ingredients
or like
that you would add.
Likes to say citrus. She calls it citrus.
Citrus?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I like citrus too. Citrus sounds good.
It does. It does. It's got a bit of a flair to it.
Can we over citrus? Is there even like a thing?
Is there such a thing?
Because I want to over citrus here because I want to make sure that I'm going to get some more of this in here.
Okay,
look at this juice. It's oh my word, we got the best fruit in the world. Did you see? It's got half a bottle of juice in that one little thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's when you know that you've got the perfect amount you've got the perfect lemon because it juices all over the place.
Oh,
it gets all juiced up.
yeah.
Anyway, let's put this over here.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to go in with the ice cubes for us there. However many you like. And then I'm going to start topping it up with the stars of our show here, which is our Clover Crush cranberry.
Talking about Crush, let's Crush to get all the flavors awakened.
Okay, I'm the chef, you're the mixologist, and...
Now we can awaken the flavors because now we get all the zest on the outside has released its oils. Now all the citrus is coming in and now we're vibing. We are doing the sangria dancy. It's okay. Gracias.
Okay,
so we're going to mix this up and do our thing. And the thing is, making this, it's citrus and serious business. If you want to go try it, we've got all the ingredients that's available to you on expressoshow.com. We top off with that bit of soda water on the top there.
It's some sparkling water.
water.
You can use whatever water of your choice.
And
water. May I please have a glass?
Yes, you may, madame.
Doesn't that look good?
It does.
You did well by muddling it because now all those flavors in there.
Exactly. So now all of those are in there. I'm going to pour myself one. And here is a cheers to you. Gracias. This is yours. Go try it on expressoshow.com.
Yes, bring the family. 100%. Your cousin's coming over. Get the crush and I'll get the ice.
The whole family?
More Crush Mom? 100% refreshing, 100% goodness.
Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back. Almost the top of the hour. Obviously, our group consciousness here in South Africa focused on KZN at the moment, and we're going to connect with the Socio-Economic Institute, our Rights Institute of South Africa, to find out what's being done on the ground level. But before that, let's get an update of what's happening in the area with Carl.
Thanks a lot, G. Let's take a peek at the news headlines from around South Africa. The SA Informal Traders Alliance, SITA, has called for the removal of tariff taxes and VAT on chicken products. SITA, which represents more than 2 million informal and micro businesses across South Africa, said it would provide relief for both informal traders and consumers from low-income households as prices of this important food source continued to escalate. SITA President Rashida Muller said chicken is often the only meat that communities can afford, and the government would do well to consider removing both VAT and all other taxes to help its people survive. Meanwhile, Parliament is expected to schedule a joint sitting of both houses to consider and approve much-needed funding to repair infrastructure damaged by the devastating floods in KwaZulu-Natal. This follows President Cyril Ramaphosa's declaration of a national state of disaster. He also said he would write to Parliament's presiding officers to request the sitting take place next week. Ramaphosa said costs would run into billions of rand in KZN for the rebuilding of infrastructure and loss of production. On to international news. Ukraine's allies have pledged to send more weapons to help it defend against a renewed Russian offensive. The US and other allies have vowed to send artillery as well as anti-tank and air defense aid to Kiev. This as Russia launches a new campaign in the country's east. Clashes there have marked what Ukraine leader Volodymyr Zelensky said was the start of the battle for Donbas. In Berlin, Chancellor Olaf Scholz said Germany's aim was to strengthen the Ukrainian military such that it could push back the Russian attack. Now, Mali has received another batch of military equipment from Russia after the European Union suspended its military training program in the Sahel nation. And Mali's Armed Forces Chief Major General, that's Omar Diarra, received 2 combat helicopters. The presidency shared a video showing the choppers as they were delivered by a Russian cargo flight at the airport in the capital Bamako. And last month, Mali received 2 Russian-made combat helicopters and radar shortly after reports that its defense minister and Air Force chief had discreetly visited Moscow. And when Russian forces withdrew from northern Ukraine, many explosive devices left behind had to be defused. And who did the Ukrainians turn to for help? That's the big question. And none other than an adorable, cheese-loving Jack Russell Terrier. The 2-year-old canine called Patron has gained social media fame after charming followers as well as the pyrotechnicians in Chernihiv, north of Kiev, where he is doing duty by sniffing out explosives. So far, Patron, whose name alludes to a bullet, has tracked down some 150 mines and other explosive devices in the wake of the Russian withdrawal. Afterwards, he hands off the disarmament to his human colleagues while enjoying his 2 favorite things, cheese and a pat in the stomach. The state of emergency of Ukraine says Patron is their soul and mascot. A telegram post from the emergency services calls the small, cute and fearless pup our militant dog. It adds, and I quote, "Thank you, friend, and your great and tireless work." Another post read, "Be aware, look under your feet at all costs, do not upset Patron." And that's a nice feel-good story for you in the midst of so much bad that's going around the world. It's so nice to actually end off with a nice smiley note for you. Talking about smiles, Graham is standing by with your sports news.
Thanks so much, Carl. While you contemplate how many lives Patron has saved, let's get into yesterday's bumper sporting highlights. And of course, he's smiling this morning along with a host of Liverpool fans as the Reds have now moved to the top of the table, at least for a couple of hours, with a commanding 4-0 win over their arch-rivals Manchester United at Anfield. So the Reds, they opened the scoring after just 5 minutes after Diaz tapped in a Mo Salah cross, and Salah got his name on the score sheet soon afterwards, profiting from a brilliant, almost mind-boggling pass from Sadio Mane. The Senegalese star scored in the second half before Salah got his double inside the final 5 minutes. But Man City will have the opportunity to reclaim that top spot as they take on Brighton in one of 4 games tonight. Big game then in the race for the top 4, of course, as Chelsea take on their London rivals Arsenal, while Everton will be taking on Leicester and then Newcastle play Palace. And staying with footballing news, Morocco and South Africa have been paired together in a heavyweight group for the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. And of course, they get underway in June, but they might might have one less country to contend with on the road to those finals in the Ivory Coast. So Morocco are top seeds in Group K, Bafana second, but they're also paired with Liberia and Zimbabwe, who are both suspended by FIFA and as a result unlikely to be able to compete. But both Kenya and Zimbabwe were initially included in the draw by the Confederation of African Football, just in case their suspensions are lifted before the qualifiers kick off in June. So we'll certainly watch that space closely. Then dispelling any questions around his captaincy or his form, Faf du Plessis came good, and Josh Hazelwood, he was amazing with the ball to put up a brilliant performance to lead the Royal Challengers Bangalore to an 18-run win over the Lucknow Super Giants in the IPL match yesterday. Du Plessis led the way with a fabulous 96 of 64 balls, featuring 11 fours and 2 sixes, as RCB posted 181 for 6. LSG's chase didn't start well, thanks to some brilliant bowling from Josh Hazelwood. So the Australian paceman struck early for RCB, and it was the danger man dismissing Quinton de Kock for just 3 runs in the 3rd over. And he went on to take 3 more wickets, finishing with figures of 4 for just 25 in his 4 overs. Then again, staying with cricket, we're a little closer to home now. Heinrich Klaasen will be leading the South African A teams that will be taking on our neighbours Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwean 11, in 8 matches from the 25th of this month to the 10th of May. So the squads are bursting with South Africa's brightest domestic provincial stars. Perfect showpiece for them as Kaya Zondo, Tianis de Bruin, Pernell Bryan, Tony de Zorzi, Gerald Coetzee and Tristan Stubbs all get the opportunity to shine. Then there are several regulars for the Proteas team as well to look out for. Got Andile Petlekwayo, Reza Hendricks, Bjorn Fortuin, Luto Sipamla, Lazard Williams and Ryan Rickleton, all able to play themselves into form. All of the games will be played at the Harare Sports Club. Should be a celebration of cricket down south. We love that. But right now, though, we have to focus on the crazy weather in the country at the moment. And of course, our thoughts and our prayers go to KZN.
Thanks so much, Gina, to report on the weather once again. And yes, it is crazy out there, especially when it comes to our continent, which is suffering quite a bit. And ominous news about drought in neighboring countries. The UN World Food Programme, otherwise known as WFP, warns that due to a prolonged drought across the Horn of Africa, the number of people at risk of hunger there could rise from 14 to 20 million. Now, it says parts of Ethiopia, Somalia and Kenya are the driest they have ever been for 40 years. The WFP also says wheat supplies have been affected by the war in Ukraine, and with shipping costs rising, food and fuel prices have rocketed. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Janet Yellen says Russia's invasion of Ukraine has deepened the global food security crisis. Now, she says that more than 800 million people, or about 10% of the world's population, had not had enough food before the war. And the invasion could plunge at least another 10 million people worldwide into poverty. Now, Yellen says Russia is entirely responsible for the food crisis due to its invasion of Ukraine. Well, our thoughts definitely go out to all those affected worldwide at the moment. And let's hope the world moves in a more positive direction soon, because honestly, it is heartbreaking to see so many people suffering. Well, for now, we're moving on from our weather news to sunrise views seen around South Africa. And starting us off once again on 7 a.m.'s news update, Lemise Morris from Pinelands sharing this perfect transition of colors from blue to pink to yellow, just as the beauty and magic of the day begins. Next up, Fatah Khan seems to have concluded his travels around KZN as he shared his familiar shot from Richards Bay overlooking the yachts in the harbour just as the sun is about to cast its glow across the country. Well, Mzansi, thank you again for sending those incredible pictures in. We absolutely love to see how you wake up wherever you are in the country. But for now, let's take another gander at the temperatures across the country. Starting off in Polokwane, the day starting at 11, moving up to 19 degrees. Umbombela sees the day starting at 14, moving up to 21 with some rainfall. Pretoria, 11 is your low, moving up to 21. Minimal rainfall your side of town. But in Johannesburg, the rain also continues. 9 moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. Over in Mahikeng, the day starting at 10, moving up to a high of 23. Klerksdorp sees the day starting at 8, moving up to 24. 24. Kimberley, not much rain coming through. 10 is your low, moving up to 25, and very similar conditions in Bloemfontein. 6 moving up to a high of 23 degrees Celsius. Over in Richards Bay, however, the rain does seem to continue. 15 moving up to 25 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, the rain moderately at bay. 10 moving up to 25. Durban, much the same, with a low of 15 moving up to 25 degrees. And Mthatha, similar conditions of 12 moving up to 27 degrees Celsius. Over in East London, your day starting at 17, moving up to 26. No rain expected. Much the same for Craddock, sunny skies of 10, moving up to 29. Berga, much the same with 16, moving up to 26 degrees Celsius. And George starting the day at 15, moving up to sunny skies and temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius. Now, moving over to the mother city where sunny skies can continue. 15 is your low, moving up to 28 degrees. Much the same for Worcester, 15, moving up to 34. Sutherland starts the day at 11, moving up to 25. And Uppington, 14 is your low, moving up to 30 degrees Celsius. Again, Mzansi, thank you so much for these incredible pictures. I'll catch up with you in another hour to put up an update on the weather. But for now, let's see what we can do about the crazy conditions experienced out in KZN.
Thanks a lot, Ryle. And let's have a conversation about how we can help. Community is so powerful, and we must, at all costs, make sure we stick together as a community. Now, KZN is still reeling from the devastating impact of the recent flooding that took place last week. Nearly 4,000 homes were destroyed, most in the coastal city of Durban and its surrounding areas. Thankfully, a number of good Samaritans have stepped in to help, and Seri is one of them.
So let's introduce you to SERI, the Socio-Economic Rights Institute of South Africa, otherwise known as SERI. They're a non-profit human rights organization that works with communities, with social movements, individuals, and obviously a network of other NGOs to challenge inequality and realize socio-economic rights. What a vital role they are playing. And we're really excited this morning to be joined online by SERI's Executive Director, Nomzamo Zondo, who's going to be telling us a little bit more about what they are doing to assist victims of the flooding, and most importantly, what we can do to get involved. Nomzamo, a very warm welcome.
Good morning, Graham, and good morning, Carl. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for doing the work that you are doing. Vital at the moment. Now, when we look at those scenes, the pictures that have been filtering through, the devastation has been extreme, almost absolute in some areas, in so many parts of KZN. What have you seen take place on the ground? And again, most importantly, what do you believe people need most right now?
Sure, thanks so much, Graham. I mean, we are based in Johannesburg. The reason we got involved is because many communities that we work with in Durban are informal settlements, and we knew that for most of them, they won't have any resources to rebuild themselves. And we then, together with other NGOs, which include ISLA, JAS, Oxfam, the Lawyers for Human Rights, said we must actually try and pull together an effort from Johannesburg to support those that are in KZN. And first of all, from what we've seen in Johannesburg, we've seen a lot of South Africans come and say, this is what I have, I want to share it with those who are in Durban. We've received a lot of clothing from women, from men, from children. And we know that also funds have been sent to our partner in Durban, Abahlali Basemjondolo, who first made the call. And their request has been, we need building materials, we need food, we need blankets. So even though we've collected some blankets in the Johannesburg Drive, we haven't received enough. And we know that it's cold in Johannesburg right now, and it's expected that it's also cold in Durban. It's probably colder in Durban, especially for those people who completely lost their homes. And so we're saying to people who are in Johannesburg, our offices are on the 6th floor of Aspen House, 54 Decotta Street in Braamfontein. If you have food, if you have children's clothes, especially warm children's clothes, please bring it. We continue to collect until Friday, 4 o'clock. Already we are sending the first batch of clothes and blankets to Durban today. We want to send the rest on Sunday or on Monday.
I mean, doesn't it all come to bear when you think of families with young children, especially?
It hits a little harder when you think about that. And I mean, with over 300 lives lost, government has declared last week's flooding a provincial disaster. But Nomzamo, how is SERI aiming to assist in relief efforts? I know you mentioned there's a drop-off point, which is great, but are there any other sort of points where SERI will be present so that us, the public, can assist in any way that we can?
So what we can say, Carl, we are based in Johannesburg, but abahlali basemjondolo are based in Durban.
Yeah.
And they work with many of the informal settlements that were affected in Durban. Their offices are at 20 Diaconia Road, close to the Durban beachfront. If you are able to go there and provide, the human resource to help with the distribution efforts, the human resource to help with the rebuild, I think if you go to the Abahlali's office at the Diaconia Center, you can actually help with that process.
Wow.
I'm going to ask for your advice because you've obviously had to really activate your strategic network in this space. For those of us that are wanting to help from other areas, that are wanting to do something, what should we be doing? Can we drive to these areas and help people rebuild? Should we look for an NGO that's operating in our area that can possibly help and make those donations? We all want to do something, and I think South Africans are proving that they can do something about it. What is your advice? What should we be doing right now to help?
Look, those who are able to provide, to send some funds, I mean, we all heard that a government will release funds for the rebuilding. But that will need to be set up, first of all. People will need to register in order to access that. And the fact that we already have people who are on the ground providing food is great, but those people who are able to provide building materials right now, that means that, for instance, people are able to get immediate help while government sets up their own relief efforts. And another thing, we all know that we're a country that struggles with corruption. So all of us must be ready to see government implement the KZN relief in a transparent way, especially with the poor benefiting first, with people who really are not able to protect themselves from this catastrophe being put in the forefront and being the first people to benefit and be protected. So we want to see government rebuilding homes as quickly as possible. But also, more importantly, we want to see a response in informal settlements that will protect the informal settlements from further disasters like this. So we want to see government rebuilding, making sure that they have grey water management systems in informal settlements, so that we actually have a process where water won't destroy people's homes, but will actually move in informal settlements.
All right, the infrastructure needs to be rebuilt in the right way. But of course, so many of these efforts rest on your efforts. Thank you so much for the work that you've done. What an absolute pleasure connecting with you, Nomzamo. Thank you so much. Keep fighting the good fight. And thank you so much for inspiring us this morning to go out and play our part. It's been an absolute pleasure connecting with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Graham. Thank you, Carl.
No problem. Zamo is from Seri, and Seri is appealing to all who are of the means to please assist and donate any sort of food, clothing, blankets, school uniforms, building materials. Please visit the social media pages to find out where you can donate and get those things delivered to the right areas.
Yeah, and just connect with them on social media. Start the conversation. They'll be able to direct you in the right way. Winter is here, guys. Relief is needed now more than ever. Just think of those families with young children especially. So please do whatever you can to assist in these already trying times. Thank you.
I hope you'll always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing. That you'll be brave and joyful and kind. And that one day, when you look at me and I look at you, we'll love the wonderful you that you've become. It all begins with purity.
Before we do anything, please can you do the movie talk pose? Please show me the pose.
It was the
man
pose and like
thinking.
the really like righteous music. Like I know we got the Thor trailer to talk about. Yo, Expresso. Like,
You deserve it, dude, because you are epic and we love it, man. I love it. Being a fan of film and how much we get out of it. And I think there is a deeper appreciation for film right now. And I love the fact that you have chosen to appreciate films that might not necessarily land at the center of the bullseye from a marketing spend.
Yes, sir.
Because they don't have the budget, but these are all amazing films.
Tiny little Babaki indie movies that I want to talk about today, the latest trailers that came out in the past week. And they won't see the light of day with a lot of us. Like if you look on YouTube, these are lucky to have 2,000 views.
But in that same vein, often when I follow one of your recommendations and watch one of these films, it's like life-changing because it's like, wow, this is such an amazing film, and I never would have seen it if we hadn't given it this light of day.
All we wanted.
100%, man. So let's talk about Poser.
Poser looks like one of these strange kind of, if you've been into Black Swan before, if you've been into like anything that has to do with sort of the obsession, but tied in tandem with the craft. You think that you're pursuing something just for its own craft, think that you're pursuing something just for its own sort of like quality and pleasure that it brings you, whatever. But however, this is taking quite more of a modern bent on things because the young lady played there by the lady you're looking at.
She just looks so obsessed with something.
Well, like, interestingly, the trailer makes her out as like she's almost like a wallflower type thing.
Yeah.
She's not necessarily evil looking necessarily. She's got a hard kind of stare of her own. She's mysterious looking, a wall of depth of mysteriousness to her. She wants to start a podcast so that she can find a way to get in with the cool kids, kind of thing. Get in on the music scene of Ohio. So she interviews her like her biggest, like the act that she was a huge fan of this whole time, but all the while the obsessions also get to her. She's actually there to be a climber in her own right, so gets her more and more cutthroat. One of the artists who she loves most dearly like tells her she needs to take on this persona that isn't her, which apparently, you know, some of these musicians do. I've heard of like even say Nicki Minaj refer to herself in like third person.
Yeah, because they're performing, for sure.
And actually, interestingly, a Poser shot to Lost in Translation. So yeah, interesting kind of look to it. No date in it for SA just yet, but that whole bloodthirsty, vociferous kind of cutthroat thing really attracts people a lot. That cultishness to it all.
And visually, it looks beautiful. Absolutely enticing. I love the sound of that. Los Conductos. Am I saying that right? Los Conductos.
It looks as weird as heck. Call it what you like. Los Conductos is interesting. So you had one from America there, tiny state of Ohio. Tiny state of Ohio. What am I talking about? Colombia is where this one is from. And, it is by a first-time director of narrative movies. Usually, I think he does documentaries ordinarily. The actor, the leading guy in this, his story is interesting because it is about his life. Now, these visuals are super interesting. Wow. If any of you know Alejandro Jodorowsky, please get a bit nerdy and look that guy up. His movies are weird, and this looks just as weird as Jodorowsky. Luis Felipe Lozano, it's actually about his real life. So the actor plays himself. Wow. The director is friends with the guy and had this really dangerous sort of feeling of, do I ask this guy to talk about his interesting and difficult life that he had? Previously was in a religious cult that he feels did him bad. We obviously don't know a lot of truths about whatever happened, what went down there, but the movie looks mysterious enough to look like it's never going to promise you that answer either, and wants revenge on these people who did him bad in this cult. A guy in real life was crack addicted and had then to very intimately lay his body on the table for the director. So massively interesting visuals. It's almost got like a strange, like 70s kind of like.
I was going to say, it seems a throwback to like the art house of a bygone era. But that's cool. I love the fact that this. I was joking about life imitating art, but this is it. This is life.
Yeah, and then the blurred lines between what is real and what is fake, because you can see the whole thing looks like really trippy, like a head. You know, does your head in type thing. Half based on real life of this guy, half, you know, strange psychedelic kind of drug-addled kind of trip. But also a really deep historical kind of question about what Colombia went through, like politically, whether in recent history, ancient history, etc., and it jumps all between.
But also, I love the fact that you're giving a human face to that narrative as well, and that's often the best way to experience a country's transformation is how it affected the people involved. I love that. Donbass, lastly.
Of the people involved, and like on the tips of everyone's tongues, we just saw it in the news right now. Ukraine, Donbass. Does anyone know what these names names mean Donetsk, Luhansk.
Yeah.
This is the east of Ukraine.
They've been in the news a lot.
Barely this region, though. I mean, despite the war having been raging for 8 years now, since about 2015 at least is when it kicked off in its most heated way. The director is usually a documentary director. So what he did here is he took like viral sort of videos from East Ukraine. And elaborated on them in a narrative, fictional kind of way, fictive way. So it's this dark comedy, but at the same time really like hard-hitting and really difficult to watch kind of thing. No date for this in SA either, but look out for it at festivals. It will give you an interesting, different voice to something that we usually just see from one side or another.
Oh, I was going to say, in the propaganda-filled, polarized media that we exist, yeah, it's very difficult. So this might be a great opportunity for you to think about and assess what is actually happening, and most importantly, what is being experienced by the people who are there right now. Buddy, 3 fantastic films. On behalf of these cool little film companies, I thank you for bringing them to our attention. You guys can obviously explore these amazing films and go and expand your own consciousness, learn more about the world around you through the power of cinema. Love it.
Yes, love it, boys, and loving the theme of Spain. And we're going to continue with the Spanish theme in the kitchen today. Viva Española!
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Yeah, Española, here we come. And if you're looking for flavorful midweek meal inspiration, look no further than right here in your feel-good breakfast show. Now, we've got a version of the classic coca mallorquina, which is simply the Spanish version of a pizza. Now, it offers a tasty rendition that makes midweek cooking a little more exciting, and Chef Tumi Chumi is here to show us how.
Yes.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for pizza.
We all scream for pizza.
I do all the time. I love any type of pizza. But this one I haven't actually tried, so I'm very interested in finding those subtle differences.
It's almost like a mixture of a tart and a pizza together, because it's got that, that border made to look like a tart, but then it's got the base that sort of is like a pizza. So it's basically getting a 2-in-1. You get
like
the best of both worlds.
The best of both.
Exactly.
Come on, say no more. Let's get into this.
Say no more. So let's get it started.
probably salivating by the sound of it already.
First step is we're using the star of the show today, which is our Clover Classic Fat Spread. So we're going to be making the dough for this, right? So what we need to do is first melt our Clover Classic Fat Spread and then mix all the rest of the ingredients
together. Look how easy it is to work with this. And I mean, come on, just talking about this ingredient right now, Clover Classic Fat Spread, it's versatile. It can be used as a spread to bake with, or as you can see right now, cooking with it as well. And you can use it in any way and your own way. And if you're wanting to add more flavor to the veg, simply saute the peppers and add your favorite herbs and spices, which you'll see right now. And that's going to bring this even more to life. If it wasn't already alive, it is alive right now. It's at the carnival.
But guys, you're not just here to stand and look cute, so I need you to do some work.
All right, what you want? What you want?
How's about you just slice up some of those peppers for us? Because we're going to be using a couple of different flavors here. And then the one signature flavor in a mallorquina is actually the peppers. So we've got some red peppers here. We've got those yellow peppers you've got over there. We've also got some sweet picante peppers. We've also got some onions that are going to go into the topping.
Stealing the show on this one, I see, right?
Peppers are the star of the show today. But before we go too far, the first step for me would be to mix up our dough, which starts with some flour. We've got some yeast over here. We've got some sugar. And I'm going to combine these two together before I go in with the wet ingredients, which in this instance will be our water, as well as that Clover Classic Fat Spread that I've just melted down, because we want everything to obviously bind together.
Right. But this is like the difference, though. I mean, it's all in the dough, really, if you really think about it.
Really?
And you're making some fresh dough right now, so that's giving you that authentic Spanish feel.
You know what I mean?
It's not defrosted. It's got nothing of the sort. This is fresh. This is the real McCoy.
The real
I absolutely like this, man. I love it.
And because we're working with a yeast dough, we're going to need to do all those steps where we let it prove and we let it rise and then we knock out the air and all those steps. So imagine that this is the dough that's been rested. I've done all that.
Authenticity.
I've kneaded
Screaming authenticity. I love that.
To the point of no return, and then just knead it up, do what we need to do, and we've got our dough. But before we do that, let's actually get cooking the filling. So since I've got so much on my hands, my guy, may I ask you to start kneading this dough for us?
On the,
and actually just roll it
on
out
the table right here?
onto the surface. You've got some flour over there.
Flour, thank you very much.
And we basically want it to be like almost a rectangular shape, okay? We want it to be able
Rustic.
to... Rustic.
The rustic shape, I like
you know,
that.
and most times what people would do is that they'd leave the edges, like you see how that the edges are there, leave the edges and not roll those out. But if you do miss that step, you can always just roll over the edges so you've got that border in the center, on the sides of your dough. And then all I'm going to do is start frying up the rest of the filling here, which is our red onions. I've also got some chopped garlic that we're adding into this baby.
Ooh, the kitchen's coming alive. Can you hear the sounds? We're rolling dough. We're searing and sauteing some onions. The smells are coming through. I can smell the classic Clover fat spread coming through as well. So that's just going to be the perfect pairing to this.
Can I ask you just to pass me those red, yellow peppers as well?
Yes, and officially the kitchen is now a carnival of color and flavor.
Flavor, you are correct, because it is about that flavor as well. So let's put this baby over here. We're gonna get frying over here, making sure that this mixture is nice and great. And you know what the other part is? If you don't get to fully cook this on the pan, it's okay, because it's gonna go into the oven to bake anyway.
Afterwards?
The only reason we're doing this is just to combine those flavors and make it more pliable. But once you've done that,
let's see. What do you think of my rustic pizza base?
I think you've done well. You've done well for yourself, sir. We're going to transfer this baby over here. And you remember I was talking about that border? All you do is just roll it up like this to make sure that you create that actual border.
This is where we're getting those feelings of tartiness.
Exactly,
right?
and it is rustic. You can never get a really perfect pizza. The whole idea is to make it nice and rustic. And then we're going to score it here, because what we want is, because it's a yeasty dough, if you don't do this, it's going to rise. And because of the steam, it's going to create... We don't want that. So we want the steam to escape. And as it escapes here, it stays whole as one thing. And then the center. Obviously, the idea would be for this to cool down, right? Cool it down, add it to the center of your dough. Get this baby in the oven baking for about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the setting of your oven. Once that's done, you've got the star-studded superstar mayopina here.
It smells so good. The peppers are bringing it all to life. Chef Chumi, I can't thank you enough for this. How simple and fun was that? And for you, Mzansi, you can head over to theexpressoshow.com right now. You can get the recipe, and if you're wanting to celebrate your everyday occasions with Clover Classic, you can stand a chance to win your share of 50,000 Rand in prizes. Then, all you have to do is enter, and that's by buying any Clover Classic product, and WhatsApp the till slip of your purchase to the number 074 909 000. Sorry, quadruple zero. So it's 074 909 0000. And of course, your terms and conditions can be found at clover.co.za. And here's a little reminder in case you missed the steps to this incredible classic recipe that tastes so good. Check this out.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
Oh, it begs the thought, what are you thinking about with that epic music, man?
I'm still bobbing like Sesame Street here, like to the previous music.
Oh, man, that's so epic. I love it. So that's the perfect epic prelude to some epic films. Time now to track what you've been tracking in terms of new trailers. Many of these trailers have got the studio buzzing, one in particular. But let's start with one that's got me so excited for no other reason than the cast looks insane. The Northman, buddy.
You go ahead and read some of those names for us. Why don't
Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Claes Bang, I don't know, Anya Taylor-Joy, Ethan Hawke, Bjork, Willem Dafoe.
Oh, geez, we were just talking about all the others. I forget poor Ethan Hawke. Like,
I mean, come on.
Nicole Kidman and Skarsgård, obviously, previously, I think, in Big Little Lies, if I can have the name
they
correct.
crackled in that.
And then previously, Willem Dafoe was with this director, Robert Eggers, in The Lighthouse, which is like lots of fun as well. People deserve to see that. Anya Taylor-Joy with the same director previously in The Witch.
Which is apparently terrifying.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite, man, which is spooky. This has a level, a threat of spooky to it, but mostly it's just action. It's Vikings.
Because that's what we want. And action, I don't think there were many kind of academic brooding Vikings. I think the majority of them were out there actionizing.
Well, you'd be surprised. I think a lot of our laws are actually based on, let me not get academic though. What we're looking at there
But how often does this start with someone burning down someone else's thing and then all hell breaks loose?
Which is the perfect kind of start that it deserves. Interestingly, the director here breaks from the previous studio he worked with, A24, which usually is academic and quite brooding and do beautiful things with The Witch and with The Lighthouse. But this time with a studio that looks like it's just going to go whole hog action thriller, revenge story type thing. Anya Taylor-Joy will present some sort of role in this. Nicole Kidman will be some sort of role in this. Willem Dafoe will be some sort of role in this. But this is just what you need from a trailer, man. You don't give away the whole story.
Don't give the plot
us a
away.
feel.
Actually, looking at this, I don't care if there's a plot or not. If I can just watch this for a couple of hours, I am happy. Just watching Alexander Skarsgård scream in wild rage before going into battle is enough for me, man.
But if you want at least a little bit of story, he starts off as a young boy who sees his father, the king, getting killed by another tribe.
9 arrows.
And then goes whole hog, revenge, rage, across something like 4 different countries. It goes from Scotland to a bit in Ukraine, actually, Norway, Iceland, etc., to hunt down the man who did this. Looks really good. You got a date there for me, Graham? I think it's June
the 7th.
the 7th.
Releasing the 15th of June. So a little bit of wait, 17th of June, my bad. But yeah, definitely worth the wait. A lot of people. Oh, this one's bubbling under. Very excited about the team behind Thor, Love and Thunder.
It's pretty fantastic to see Taika Waititi return. I mean, like...
He's the guy. He's kind of a darling of Hollywood at the moment, eh?
Yeah, obviously the last thing was Jojo Rabbit, which took 1 Oscar, if I remember correctly. Before that, obviously Thor Ragnarok, which everyone knows and loves.
And that took this franchise in a slightly different direction,
and took Thor totally in a different direction. For a lot of people, he was the most boring character before Taika Waititi comes along. And now I think he's Marvel's most beloved character. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know.
Yeah, man, and he's funny. His character is written funny, and all due credit to Chris Hemsworth, who's been able to play those lighter, funnier moments well, I think.
Oh, I mean, have a look, Graham. Don't peel your eyes away from the silliness of it all. Chris Pratt somehow in this. So they're playing Sweet Child of Mine, who previously was used, I think, in Step Brothers. Interestingly, similar to Step Brothers, it's a bunch of people who are trying to fake that they've grown up, trying to fake that they've moved on. Chris Pratt is like taking almost like the paternal perspective in this, where Hemsworth, on the other hand, is going through, it seems like a bit, yes, look at these shots, but epic. Going through a bit of a midlife crisis, trying to get back on the horse kind of feeling of him.
So retirement isn't going well, he's back in the game. Yeah.
He's trying to say, oh yes, look at that shot, killed myself laughing at that. Chris Pratt's like, look into the eyes of those you love. Just slides into the scene in a way that breaks all film laws in a way. And then Natalie Portman.
Hang on a minute.
Yes, that is right. The Mighty Thor is what this looks like it's primarily based on. I hope that she's not just like a taster to a Thor 5.
Yeah.
But I hope that it takes like a huge prominent role. But there's a whole comic, I think, called The Mighty Thor, where
we took it in a different route. Man.
But Natalie Portman, like, you must be doing something right, Taika Waititi. If you've got Natalie Portman to return after she said she's not going to do superhero movies again, and Christian Bale, who we don't even see in this trailer, who plays Gore the God Butcher, saying after Batman, that's it.
Yeah.
And then because of this director, both of those people.
I love it, man. That's all the time we have. Dave Bautista in there as well. Jeff Goldblum, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, all of our favorites. 2 unbelievably cool films with amazing casts, and they are there for you. This one's going out July the 8th. So yes, a little bit of the wait, but you can get even more excited about it. Look at teasers online. online. Enjoy it. Ask a question or two to this guy online as well, and he won't disappoint. JP Sebastian, you have not disappointed this morning. Thank you so much.
Time for a talent who is absolutely awesome. It is a singer, a songwriter, somebody by the name of Elizabeth Sue. She's on Expresso this morning for 3 incredible performances, and this one is inspiring. It's meant to lift you up this morning, to make you grateful for the things around you, and you've opened those eyes of yours for a new opportunity. And this is where the song comes in. So do enjoy from Elizabeth Sue, Opstaan Prachtig.
Wat je ziel aanraakt. Dan geef het op zijn prachtig, die leven gaan aan en jij achterblijft als je ze aangaat. Je leeft is niet hetzelfde als die mens van jou. Er staan hier die concepten van gaan met jou.
Did you feel that from Elizabeth Sue? I found it.
We are back with the best in the All-Star Season 10 of Tropica Island of Treasure. And we're going big!
Just tell us why you should be chosen to compete with one of these all-star celebs and stand a chance to win a smooth 1 million rand. WhatsApp your audition video or upload it on our socials at MyTropica for your chance to get a spot on the island.
So buy a Tropica today, and this could be you. CPAC for details.
Tropica, nothing smoother.
simple as CBD should be.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And let me say well done to you for making a great choice today. You tuned into our show. And the rest is Lira. The rest is the magic that's going to continue. So get off the couch and maybe you can join us right now for some functional training, which is a term used to describe exercises that help you perform activities in everyday life more easily. Now, these exercises typically use the whole body and definitively muscle or multiple muscles and emphasize core strength as well as stability. Now, we are going to be mirroring the movements of your daily life like squatting, reaching, or even carrying a heavy object. Building functional strength can also help increase your quality of life and reduce the risk of injury. We don't want any of that this morning, so we are going to bring in a professional to take us through some of these exercises. He goes by the name of Masi Matodlana.
Yeah.
How you doing, man? I've missed you,
good,
bro.
It's been a while.
Oh, we haven't worked out in a while, dude.
Yeah.
But you're coming at the perfect time because I think everybody after Easter has bulked up a bit, so this functional fitness is also going to do its part in burning some calories, right?
Yeah, we're going to burn quite a lot today, and we're actually doing combos.
Ooh, combinations. All right, I'm going to have to pay attention. You take us through it. What's first?
All right, so today we're actually going to start with push-ups and squats.
Okay.
So we're going to do that over 30 seconds, so as many rounds as possible in 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do 5 push-ups, 5 squats. 5 push-ups, 5 squats.
Till the clock
Sweat.
All right,
Yes.
sweat time.
All right.
Are we going into it?
We're going straight to it.
All right.
Straight to push-ups.
What do we start with? Push-ups.
5 push-ups, 5 squats. 5
All right.
push-ups, 5
See the
squats. Are we
man's
good?
looking at his watch.
Yes,
30
I need to
seconds
time.
timer. Mzansi, come get warm with us. I know it's getting a little bit chillier. 5 push-ups coming through.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
5, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Straight into squats.
Yes.
1,
2, yes. 3, 4, 5. Back down.
Push-ups.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The blood pumping all the way from the top of the body straight to the legs.
Last 5
Getting
seconds
the heart
to go.
rate going. 30 seconds is the goal, Mzansi. I hope you're joining us right now. Getting the blood.
Well done. All right.
Woo.
That was set 1.
Set 1.
Okay.
Whoa,
So now
I'm
we're
warm, man.
All right. So now we're moving to set 2, which is we'll be doing lunges. 6 lunges, so that means 3 per leg. All right. And then we're gonna do mountain climbers. The same thing.
Ooh.
3 per leg.
I see what you're doing here. There's a little bit of upper body, lower body. The core is always
There
coming
we
into
go.
play. But also the fact that the blood is rushing up and down the body.
There we go.
The heart rate is pumping. I'm almost out of breath here. We're down one exercise. Right,
That's
let's
why
get
I
into
love
it.
functional fitness because we target everything.
All right, so we're alternating
good?
on the
We're
lunges?
alternating.
Okay.
All right, we're doing a reverse lunge because it's quite better for your knees. You know, you don't want to hurt your knees. Sometimes we tend to lose the technique moving forward. So
I like that.
Take
Looking
it back.
after the body at the same time. Nice
There we go.
stuff.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah. 3 per leg. 1. Let's go. 2. Let's go. Last one. Well done. Straight to mountain climbers. Then 1, 2, 3. Back up.
All right, back to lunges.
Yeah.
Man, I'm feeling the burn
There
right
we
now.
go.
Now we're warm. I can feel the sweat's going to be coming straight after
one,
this,
both
but
sides.
we're earning it.
Back down. Let's get
1, 2,
yes.
3.
Well done. Back up. Last one.
Last one. Feeling it now.
Yeah.
And it's not just me out of breath here and not talking. I'm just trying to concentrate, make sure
Last
that
one,
my
both
form
sides.
stays the same.
All right. Let's finish, huh? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Oh man, all right, we're only 2 sets, 2 workouts in, already feeling the sweat, Masi coming through with perfect combos, and that's what functional fitness is about, right,
all
man?
about.
Working up a sweat here, dude.
Yes.
We grab one of these, I got one for you as well.
Yeah,
This
you
is
know-
absolutely perfect. How many reps of each of these would you do, I mean, I know that's only 2 exercises out of a handful that you can obviously do, right?
Yeah. So you can pull that between like 5 to 6 sets. Remember, you got sometimes 30 minutes just to do your last workout.
Yeah.
So if you can get that in, do those combos, do at least each combo like 30 seconds to 60 seconds over 5 sets.
It's crazy. As much as
There we
these
go.
hurt, I'm always loving the conversation. I'm loving the exercises with you. So find the man online. He's got some killer workouts for you. If you want to get shredded and get through winter, here's the man for it. Another thing that we want to get through right now is, of course, feeding this belly. We worked up appetite. Let's head back to the kitchen.
Guess who's back? Back again. It's the Lazy McCourty, baby! Yes, sir! And in case you forgot, today is our Waza Pasta Wednesday, and she's going to be making a super tasty, super saucy, super chicken liver shell noodle pasta. I love this because right now food prices are increasing, and one of the best quality, least expensive proteins you can get, this is gold. Chicken livers are beautiful, and I love the flavor profile as well.
Definitely. Super affordable. Perfect for Waza Pasta Wednesday.
Yeah, baby.
They're easy to get, easy to cook. I mean, it's the best of the both worlds.
And I'm glad that we've got one of the pros here to help me through it, because I think you can either undercook or overcook your livers, which is a little bit of a kind of a question mark for me. So I'm looking forward to seeing the right way of cooking a liver, and how, if we make a mistake, how we can rectify that. And of course, we are using our beautiful gnocchi pasta shells today, which is great because they're gonna capture the sauce.
Yes, they're going to catch all of that beautiful sauce of the livers. We're using the Fatis and Monis gnocchi pasta shells, and I'm actually going to put you to work.
I'm ready for you. I'm ready, girl. Okay, so what do you need?
We'll start with that garlic.
Okay.
I'm going to have you grate that garlic for me while I fry some onion. So very easy steps. I mean, in 4 minutes, you will have a delicious Waza Pasta Wednesday meal.
I love it. And water must be quick. That's the whole point.
That is the whole point, to show you how quick and easy, but also affordable it can be.
And nutritious.
And definitely nutritious. I'm just sauteing my onion in here. You're welcome to add some pepper, make it nice and colorful if you want.
That's for you.
Thank you. Oh, you do this so well.
I've learned from the best, girl. I've learned from the best.
Okay, there's more work. I'm gonna have you chopping the
ready.
parsley as well. So now we're just gonna saute our onion. Want it nice and caramelized. And yeah, this is super easy. Anyone can do this.
I love it. That's quite a statement, eh? Because I'll put it to the test tonight. I'll do it. Now, I'm enjoying my pasta meals a lot more now. I suppose maybe with the change of season, we want something that's a bit more kind of hearty and comfort food related. I love this. But for me, the fact that we're getting the power protein in this dish is the win. Okay, so the moment of truth. The livers are going in.
Now in goes our chicken livers. Just make sure that you're not overcrowding them. You want space for them to fry. So I'm gonna leave them a little bit, just nicely brown, and then we'll turn them over. We're also gonna finish that dish up with some cream. It's gonna be nice and creamy, perfect for the winter.
I love that. It's hearty, it's comfort food, it's going to warm you up from the inside. And what I love about this, a little goes a long way.
Definitely. So add that cream, add more sauce to it, and you can serve more people with it.
I love it. So
just perfect.
what's the deal now when cooking chicken livers? What are we aiming for? What should be the look and kind of consistency of it to know that we've hit the mark?
So you definitely want some color on your livers. Your livers can't be pink on the outside. You want some color, but you also don't want to dry them out. So I'd say 5 to 6 minutes, it's just enough. You don't want dry livers, even though we are going to add that cream to give that velvety, silky texture.
That beautiful mouthfeel, yeah.
Which is fantastic. So in the beginning, don't be turning them too much. Just allow them to fry, get that beautiful color, and then we can turn them.
Okay, and not too high a heat as well. I'm seeing here, there's nothing quite like a chicken liver popping in your pan. Turn them over, combine with the sauce, add the remainder of our spices. What else is going in there in terms of the spices?
We are going to add some salt and pepper. Salt and pepper, and then some lovely chili. You can add some paprika as well for that beautiful color.
Ooh,
make them
like
nice and hot.
Yeah,
so if you can
nice
take
smoky paprika or something like that. Yeah, but I would definitely ramp up the heat with this one. I'm a bird's eye chili man at the moment, and enjoying cooking through the phases of a chili. Do you add it fresh at the end? Do you cook it through to add that flavor profile throughout?
Yes.
One thing is for certain, this is confirming that it is our Waza Pasta Wednesday, baby.
So I'm gonna turn this off and let you taste the dish I made earlier.
Oh, it looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to ask you to pass me a fork. Just before I do that, it looks beautiful. It looks amazing. And if you want to get your hands on this chicken liver shell noodles, you can simply visit expressoshow.com. And don't forget, you can also win big with Fatties and Moni's Waza Pasta Wednesdays, where you stand a chance of winning 2,000 Rand every single day, plus 10,000 Rand every Pasta Wednesday. If you want to get those details, you can visit Fatties and Moni's on social media. And all I'm going to say is good luck.
Yes.
Try and get
Dig in.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that creaminess, that pasta just...
The livers are perfect. The consistency is perfect. The shell pasta, definitely the right pasta for this dish. It just holds all that flavor. Absolutely beautiful. Go to expressoshow.com to get this recipe yourself.
Yes.
Fatties and Moni's Waza Pasta Wednesdays. Bravo to you. Stand a chance to win 2,000 Rand every day, plus 10,000 Rand every Pasta Wednesday. See in store for details. T's and C's apply.
Telkom unlimits your world for less. Level up your gaming and find more reasons to share every moment with more data to use your way. Get 20 megabits per second unlimited data for only 599 Rand per month. Do more on your terms and live your Munati with no limits. Call 10213, click telkom.co.za or go to any Telkom shop. Fair usage policy and T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We have all morning been looking for ways that we can help efforts in KZN. For good.co.za are connecting people to causes, and they might be just the right people for you to connect with right now, but we'll do that on the other side of our news headlines.
Thanks a lot, G. Let's take a last peek at those news headlines. An unacceptably high level of lost power generating capacity, wet coal caused by unpredictably heavy rains, and delays in the addition of renewable energy to the grid are the reasons SA is facing a bleak week of load shedding. Implemented on Easter Sunday and escalated to stage 4 early yesterday, the rolling blackouts are set to continue until Friday morning. CEO Andre Terreita said that this week's load shedding was the result of a disappointing performance by generation and added that much was being done to improve the situation. The SA Informal Traders Alliance, SITA, has called for the removal of tariff taxes and VAT on chicken products. SITA, which represents more than 2 million informal and micro businesses across South Africa, said it would provide relief for both informal traders and consumers from low-income households as prices of this important food source continue to escalate. SITA President Rashida Muller said chicken is often the only meat that communities can afford, and the government would do well to consider removing both VAT and all other taxes to help its people survive. A number of Kenyan teachers say corporal punishment should be allowed in classrooms again. To quote this one, be tougher on pupils who misbehave is what they said. Now, Kenya outlawed corporal punishment in schools in 2001. The Children's Act protects children from all forms of abuse, but some secondary school head teachers say the ban undermines their authority in schools. Kahi Indamuli, who leads the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association, says the policy on management of discipline is laborious and makes it difficult to take any disciplinary measures. Ukraine's allies have pledged to send more weapons to help it defend against a renewed Russian offensive. The US and other allies vowed to send artillery, anti-tank and air defense aid to Kiev. This as Russia launches a new campaign in the country's east. Clashes there have marked what Ukraine leader Volodymyr Zelensky said was the start of the battle for Donbas. In Berlin, Chancellor Olaf Scholz said Germany's aim was to strengthen the Ukrainian military such that it could push back the Russian attack. And on to a very, very sad note to wrap things up. Multi-award winning Afro-pop musician and songwriter Lira has suffered a stroke. Lira, whose real name is Lerato Molapo, has been hospitalized. The much-loved R&B and Afro-soul singer suffered a stroke while in Germany. In a statement last night, her family said that she recently traveled to Germany for a performance but suffered a stroke while there. As a result, her ability to communicate, particularly her speech, has been impacted. The feel-good hitmaker, who is 44, is currently undergoing treatment in South Africa and being attended to by a top medical team. The team says her journey to recovery will require patience, and it's unlikely that she will be able to perform in the short term. Lira is, however, in high spirits. She's surrounded by her loving family and close friends as she heads to a full recovery. And of course, as your Expresso Show family, Lira, we wish you all the best and strength at this very, very trying time. You've got this. That wraps up our news on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Let's take a peek at the sport. Graham is standing by.
Thank you so much, Carl. Cricket dominating this morning, but let's start with a little bit of football. It's happened. Finally, Liverpool have moved to the top of the table, at least for a couple of hours, with a commanding 4-0 win over their arch rivals, Manchester United, at Anfield. The Reds, they opened the scoring after just 5 minutes to set the tone. That was after Diaz tapped in a Mo Salah cross. Then Salah got his name on the score sheet soon after that, profiting from what was a mind-boggling, brilliant pass from Sadio Mane. The Senegalese star then scored himself in the second half before Salah got the double inside the final 5 minutes. So Man City will have the opportunity to reclaim their top spots as they take on Brighton in one of 4 games tonight. Elsewhere, big game in the race for 4 as Chelsea host their London rivals Arsenal, while Everton will take on Leicester and then Newcastle will play Palace. Staying with footballing news, Morocco and South Africa have been paired together in a heavyweight group for the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. They get underway in June, but they might have one less country to contend with on the road to those finals in the Ivory Coast. So Morocco are top seeds in Group K with Bafana second, but they're also paired with Liberia and Zimbabwe, who are suspended currently by FIFA and unlikely to be able to complete, at least at this stage. So both Kenya and Zimbabwe were included initially in the draw by the Confederation of African Football in case their suspensions are lifted before the qualifiers kick off in June. So we'll certainly watch that space closely. Then, dispelling any questions about his captaincy or his form, Faf du Plessis and Josh Hazelwood put up brilliant performances to lead the Royal Challengers Bangalore to an 18-run win over the Lucknow Super Giants in their IPL match yesterday. So du Plessis was on fire. He led the way with a fabulous 96 of just 64 balls that featured 11 fours and 2 sixes as RCB posted 181 for 6. Then LSG's chase didn't start well thanks to some brilliant bowling from Josh Hazelwood. The Australian paceman striking early for RCEB, dismissing dangerman Quinton de Kock for just 3 runs in the 3rd over. That might have made all the difference. And then he went on to take another 3 wickets to finish with figures of 4 for just 25 in his 4 overs. And then we bring it closer to home, back down south, as Heinrich Klaassen has been announced that he will be leading the South African A-teams that'll take on the Zimbabwean 11 in 8 matches from the 25th of this month to the 10th of May. So the squads are very exciting, bursting with South Africa's brightest domestic provincial stars who have already put their hand up this year. I'm talking about Kaya Zondo, Tiana Stebrain, Prunellen Subrayan, Tony Zorzi or Dizorzi, Gerald Kutsia and Tristan Stubbs. And then there are also several regulars of the Proteas team to look out for as well. Andile Petlekwayo, Reza Hendricks, Bjorn Fortuin, Lutus Pamela, Lizard Williams and Ryan Rickleton, all having an opportunity to shine. And all of those games will be played at the Harare Sports Club, as I said, at the end of this month. But that's where we leave our Wednesday sport for this morning. Let's get one more update on the weather front and touch base down in KZN.
Thanks so much, G. Our final look at the weather right now, and of course reporting on the chaos in KZN. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa claims the KZN floods disaster, and quote, is part of climate change, unquote. But what role has climate change played? Now, the weather system which triggered the floods led to an excess of 300 millimeters of rainfall being dumped over a 24-hour period on the 11th of April. Now, that's much more than compared with previous episodes of serious flooding, which in 2019, 165 millimeters fell on the 22nd of April, and in 2017, 108 millimeters was recorded on the 10th of October. Now, the amount of rain which was fallen has equal to about 75% of South Africa's average annual precipitation. Now, Tafadzwa Nashe Mabaudi of the University of KwaZulu-Natal says the weather was typical of the type that develops off the coast of South Africa. Now, the SA Weather Service said it's not correct to attribute individual weather events occurring over short timescales to longer-term trends such as global warming, but added that severe and extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and more extreme as a result of climate change. Well, from more weather developments, we move on to these sunrise images captured by you, our incredibly talented viewers. Now, Simaya Conrad from Wynberg started us off this morning with this stunning shot overlooking the city, showing off an early morning low-lying haze, and what a beautiful one indeed. Andrew Neil Harris from Belito coming through next, sharing the sunshine after the rains, showing off a beautiful blue sky as the sun cast a glow through the clouds. Oh, next up, Lamise Morris from Pinelands, sharing this perfect transition of colors from blue to pink to yellow. Oh, beautiful stuff indeed. And then Fatah Khan seems to have concluded his travels as he shared his familiar view from Richards Bay overlooking the yachts in the harbour. Mzansi stepping it up, inspiring us all, and again making us smile as we get an opportunity to see how you wake up wherever you are in the country. For now though, one last gander at the temperatures across the country, and let's start off in Polokwane. Your temperatures for the day starting at 11, moving up to 19 degrees with some rain coming through. Mbombela sees the day starting at 14 all the way up to 21 with rainfall. Pretoria, the rain is a little bit more at bay, moderate rainfall, 11 up to 21. And Johannesburg, a little bit of rain coming through, but 9 is your low, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. Over in Mahikeng now, where the day starts at 10, moving up to 23 degrees. Minimal rainfall expected. Klerksdorp, much the same with the rain, minimal, a low of 8 and a high of 24. Kimberley, maybe even just a drizzle at your side of the world, 10 moving up to 25, and more of the drizz in Bloemfontein, 6 all the way up to 23 degrees Celsius. Now, over in Richards Bay, we move on. 15 is your low, moving up to a high of 25 degrees with 25% chance of rain coming through. Pietermaritzburg, more or less sunny conditions with a little bit of drizz, 10 moving up to 25 degrees. Durban sees the day starting at 15, moving up to 25 with minimal rainfall, and much the same with the rain from Tata, 12 all the way up to 27 degrees. Now, moving over to East London, where they were welcoming the rain, but it is at bay for now. 17 moving up to 26 with sunny skies. Cradock, much the same with the sunny skies, 10 moving up to 29. Aberga, much the same, 16 is low, moving up to 26. And George, starting the day at 15, moving up to a nice warm 30 degrees Celsius. Now, over in the mother city, sunny skies continue. 15 is your day starter, moving all the way up to 28 degrees. Worcester starting the day at 15, moving up to a nice warm 34 degrees. Sutherland, chillier start of 11, moving up to 25. And Uppington starting the day at 14, moving up to a nice warm sunny 30 degrees Celsius. Once again, Mzansi, thank you so much for sending those incredible pictures in, because we absolutely love it. And more of what we love coming up on the show right now.
So we take a peek at the weather, and we see that the weather in KZN, it has been absolutely devastating. And we asked if you have any sort of opportunity to assist, maybe aid anybody who is in need in KZN, please comment below in our social media ask this morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Thank you so much to everybody who has been connecting. We need to use this show as a platform to make sure that we are gathering individuals who are able to assist, like you and many, many other organizations. So if you know of somebody or an organization who's willing to help or get your help to those in need in KZN, please let us know on social media. We've got a couple of comments that have come through as well. Thank you so much for sending through all of these. And this is essentially community in action on a show that needs to be all about community, and this is a really important thing for us to track through. So let's take a peek at your comments for a second. And starting off over here, we've got Ikram Daniel saying to Kyle Govender, "You're in my prayers during this time. I hope you and your family are safe, and let us pray sincerely for everyone to be safe and well, for our society to be harmonious and no more disasters. May joy and freedom be with you, and may you find peace everywhere." That is a powerful message, and I feel like sometimes we miss out on how important it is for the psychological elements of giving to be at play here. And this is what we are doing this for, is that we can send blankets and food and building materials, which are vitally important, but it's that connection to other humans which is so important. So thanks so much for all the love. Keep on sending it through to anybody who's affected by those floods in KZN, as we get on to somebody who is incredible with their campaign called forgood.co.za. Graham has got all the details.
Yep, this might be the connection that we are looking for. So obviously KZN has suffered an unprecedented amount of loss due to landslides and flooding over the recent weeks. And if you're wanting to be a good Samaritan and are wondering how you can help, and judging by the amount of requests we've had today, a lot of you do, I think forgood.co.za is the online platform to use. They connect people to causes around the country. A simple and powerful idea. And they have set up a very special campaign to highlight volunteering and donation opportunities to assist in the KZN area specifically. And Romy Helsinger, the CEO of For Good, now joins us to tell us a little bit more about her amazing organization, and most importantly, what we can do to help. Romy, very good morning. I know a good morning greeting falls horribly short in light of what half of this country is going through right now, but we are sending you so much positive energy and light right now because of the work that you're doing. You connect passionate people with needy organizations to oversimplify what you do. Talk about matchmaking for the right reasons. Why did you start this community that you have, and how have people responded to it?
Thanks for having me and showcasing the fact that we need help urgently in KZN. So how For Good was started was by a man called Garth Jaffet, and he creates movies based on values and morals. You might have seen some: Beyond the River, Heartlines, Hopeful, and he really encouraged South Africa to go and, be social citizens. And then everyone went to him and said, well, where do we go and do good? And this is how For Good was started. For Good is an incredible platform. Over COVID, we thought, traditionally volunteering is when you go in and you get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
You want to see the end result. But within 6 weeks, over 50,000 people came through our site in the first couple of weeks of COVID. And we had turned all of our opportunities into virtual opportunities. So basically, if you had an internet connection and data, you could make a difference literally from sitting in your PJs in your bed. During the riots, within 2 days, we raised over 300,000 Rand from just one corporate. And I think what this shows is that in a sad world, because it is a sad world at the moment, that the act of giving really does provide some hope.
Yep, I think now more than ever we feel like we are part of a community, and now people need our help, and it seems like there is need across many spectrums. What are the various kinds of causes that you have connected people with so far, and how do you guys find and vet the causes and organizations that you are helping to kind of bring this aid to?
So traditionally, you know, giving has always been well-intentioned, but possibly misaligned.
Yeah.
Where we tell the causes what we want to do for them, or we tell the causes what we want to donate for them. And what For Good actually does is, in real time, they allow the causes to upload what they actually need. So we've got over 400 verified causes on our platform. So we do verify it. Why do we verify the causes? Because we need to make sure that when the volunteers volunteer at the cause, they're having a good experience, and likewise for the volunteers. So we've got a rating service between 1 and 5, 5 being you had a fantastic time, 1 not so much. Good news is we don't get many ones. And currently, right now, some opportunities that are on our site that you can get involved in, that really you don't even have to leave your house to make a difference. For instance, Rise Against Hunger are looking to raise money, 250,000 for disaster relief. Meals on Wheels are looking for warm clothing and blankets. They're also looking for donations of food for the displaced. Siyakola Support Centre need blankets. United Way South Africa are looking for toiletries and blankets. So it's simple things that you can get involved with right now. A big partner of ours, Gift of the Givers, are playing a big part in KZN. They're obviously also looking for raising money. Now, we know, Durban's in a state of disaster at the moment. Mobility is an issue. Flooding is still an issue. People have lost their homes. So it's quite difficult to go and get your hands dirty. So you might ask, how do I give help from sitting in Joburg or sitting in Cape Town? And it's really as simple as you can go onto our platform and donate as little as 50 Rand. And it goes directly to the causes in real time.
Absolutely love it, because that is what we require right now in real time. People are going through, I think, more than most of us could comprehend right now, and they need our help. KZN needs your help, and we have now found a way to help them. Thank you so much. An absolute pleasure connecting with you. Romy, keep doing the amazing work that you're doing, and stay safe out there, and keep providing this amplification to what these amazing organizations are doing. We absolutely love you.
Thank you so much for having me and bringing this to the forefront. Thank you.
We will certainly keep all of their details on our platforms, but just go and check them out. No longer do you have to sit and wonder where to start or how to begin your helping efforts to help your neighbor. The people of KZN need your help, and you can literally help change a community, change a life for the better. Just simply start by going to forgood.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yeah, let's get dancing. I want to go dancing with you all night in the kitchen. Let's do it right now. And welcome back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ching, ching, ching! Yes, and this time we're going to be dancing and we're joined by the one and only, our favorite Chef Clem in the building. So if you have any questions for Chef Clem on all things in the kitchen, you can call us right now. That's 021 110 555 and let the conundrums be solved. Yes, and this time we're actually doing something special. Id is around the corner. Yes, Idul Fitr celebration taking place potentially on the 1st and the 2nd of May. And with that being said, Chef Clem has got so many conundrums to solve, and he's got some answers for you when it comes to Id inspiring you and getting you in the field for all the good stuff. So let's see what some of you have on your tables during Ramadan. I know a lot of you have already come through getting excited for the day. Shamila Lewis coming through with a comment saying, no table is complete without samosas. All right, I love that. I know that for sure. Nabila Yost also says buba and vermicelli. That's also another standard favorite. And I know there's so many more comments that are going to be coming through. So come bring it through on our expressoshow.com or on our Facebook page and let us know what you're going to be preparing. But if you don't have any ideas, then don't worry, because right now, here is the inspiration that you were looking for. Chef Clem, what's happening?
What's your favorite samosa?
Oh, you know what? I know this is going to get met with a lot of oh, no, dear, but the traditional is always great, but I've been loving this new corn and cheese, man.
That is yummy.
It's naughty. It's
My
yummy.
favorite is definitely spicy potato and pea.
What? Is that a thing?
It's a thing.
Hey, I need to step my game up.
I think we made it on the show last year.
Yeah?
We'll make it again, just for you.
Yeah.
Only if you're going to fold your own samosas.
Okay, deal.
Done.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So what have you got for us today, man?
I'm going to make a recipe that's really simple, but extremely flavorful. It's a bit luxurious, but hey, it's a special time of the year. So we're making a butter prawn curry.
Oh, that sounds good.
It is so good. And what I love about this recipe is you can choose if you want to serve it with the shells on or with the shells off. Okay. I prefer with the shells on because anytime I can get my hands into the food,
get involved with
it, and you hear this. No, don't be that person. You're okay. It's your family, it's your home. You can do what you like. So, first things first. In this pot over here, I've got some onions, some salt, and some oil. Some curry leaves and some chili, okay? I'm cooking this to soften the onion, and at the same time it's going to infuse that oil with all that flavor.
All right.
My prawns is actually what I worked on first. So I made a beautiful spice rub, coated the prawns in that spice, and then I whacked my oven on as high as I can. No, I'll say about 250 is really good, okay?
Good.
Or you're not trying to cook the prawns like right now. What you're going to do is form a crust on the outside of the prawns. Prawn shells hold so much flavor. That's another reason I like serving it with the shells on. But then you add the spices to it. So this becomes like a flavor bomb on its own. Or as G would say, a flavor bazooka. Okay, flavor bazooka right there. Now we're gonna work on our curry sauce. The heat's quite low. I want to soften the onions, brown them slightly, bring out the sweetness in the onions. To help that, I added a bit of that salt in there to draw the moisture out. So this is kind of the sizzle you want. You don't want to. You want to.
Just light. Just
there we go.
Ambience. Now there's a lot of stuff going on over here. Now we're talking about traditional flavors and spices. I know Mzansi's going to be paying attention to this. What is going on with all these colors, man?
Garlic and ginger goes in, and what I like is obviously we're not woolies. You don't have to chop all the garlic. You don't have to chop all the ginger. You can actually buy them in the little packs. Done for you. Get that in there, and you want to. Every time you add something, you want to take some time to let it cook out before you add the next thing. So I'm going to take the time to give a shout out. To Anton Julius, okay? What a man. You think how random, I'm talking to him. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here this morning. Okay. Thanks to load shedding, my security gate battery, pop. Anton Julius came to the rescue. The man saved me. He said, I'm literally watching the show now. I'm talking to you and I'm watching the show. The man saved me and I'm
what
here.
A legend.
So
Nice.
Julius, love you, man. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks for allowing Chef Clem to make it to our conundrum this morning and solve it for the rest of Mzansi then. I love it.
There we go. I don't stress. Hi, boss. I'm not coming to work this morning. It would not fly. Okay, that's enough time now. I can smell the garlic and ginger.
Yeah, I definitely can get that.
Now we're going to go in with our spices. Cardamom, garam masala, ground cumin, extra bit of that in there, turmeric, and cayenne pepper for that heat, okay? Again, so we've added something. So what do? We let it cook out.
Let it cook out, let it absorb, let it blend in,
And this is a very important one because if you don't cook your spices out, they become gritty. You can taste the spices haven't infused properly. You don't enjoy it. The flavors
come through in the meal later.
No, not even. It just retains that grittiness and the flavor doesn't come through. So a good way to tell that you properly cooked your spices out is if you look at the oil that we've come a bit closer, Look at the oil. You see?
I see that.
The oil now has that color of all the spices we've added in. So we now know, okay, we're good to add the rest of the ingredients.
Flavor has been ticked, okay.
And we're going to do a little bit of ghee. or butter,
What's
whatever
the key
you want
for?
to
Kind of just balance it out, get it a little bit creamy?
I mean, if it's butter prawn curry, you got to add that butter in there.
Of course.
Got to be in there. Okay, then we're going to go in
That was also
mustard
part
seed.
of this.
Love using mustard seed. I feel like we don't use enough mustard seed. Mustard seed's got a very good way of telling you when it's ready and it's done. It starts popping slightly.
And what's the difference between like the normal mustard sauce and the seed?
Mustard sauce, it's got a few other elements added to it. You can taste it's also got a bit of acidity in there.
Yeah.
Mustard seed's got more of that, just like earthy spice, a little heat. So you want to use that. Don't use that. Thank you for bringing it up. Don't use mustard sauce.
So you know, Oaks are going to look for shortcuts wherever they can. I don't need tomato sauce. I don't need this. Keep it authentic.
Keep it authentic.
This is what comes through in the end. Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to go in with some yogurt, and the yogurt's going to add such creaminess. And also the thing is, I'm adding some yogurt. So I don't have to add. I'm not going to add cream to this or extra butter. The yogurt's going to do the job for me.
I feel like just on this alone, with the smells that I'm already getting, and it hasn't even fully come together yet, you could almost throw any protein into this or any meat, and it's literally going to probably have that same flavor profile. It's going to almost make anything taste good. Probably dip a loaf of bread in here and it'll even be that good, man.
Exactly. And what I also like, on that point, what you said about adding the proteins to this and it'll taste good, I often make the sauce and add roasted pumpkin to it with some chickpeas. Make the most amazing pumpkin and chickpea curry. Proteins there, everything's there, the flavors
perfect
there.
balance.
And I love the sauce. The sauce just makes everything taste good.
Man, Mzansi, I have to plug you in though, because if you weren't paying attention, especially when it comes to those spices, you're gonna want to get this recipe inspiration at expressoshop.com, especially when it comes to making things authentic, getting that real umami flavor out of this. That is how we're getting it, by using real spices.
Who's mommy? Who's mommy? We don't talk about people's
Who's mommy?
We're saying nice things about your mom. It's fine.
But seriously, man, I mean, this is reminding me, and I mean, you say mummy, but like you're reminding me of being with my mom in the kitchen and nagging her about when the food's ready because it smells so good. She's preparing it for so long. You smell every single spice and all the love that goes into it. And that's what I'm getting from this right now. So definitely head over to that recipe inspiration at expressoshop.com, because it's going to give you all of those real, genuine, authentic feels of a home-cooked meal. And what a way to kind of just kickstart Idil Fitr.
You know?
Come on, yeah.
This is it. I mean, it can simmer for a few, like 5 more minutes, but essentially you've cooked through your prawns already. The sauce is cooked through. If you wanna bulk this up and make more sauce, add a bit more yogurt or coconut milk to it. Bulk it up. Get more rotis, get more rice. Get in there. This is an amazing one, and it's an absolute treat. It's not one you're gonna do every day, but it is so worth it. And also, if you are on the line right now, you got your phone nearby, give us a call. What things do you always have on your e-table? Like, it's not Eid without this thing on the table. Let us know.
Of course, expressoshop.com once again for the recipe inspiration. Come through, like Clem says, and phone us. We're waiting to solve your conundrums, or maybe you can give us some tips on what are the best things to serve for Eid. It's 2 weeks away. It's a celebration that is worthy of everything, especially when it comes to bringing the family and everybody else together. So come through on that line right now. We're waiting for you, and we'll see you in just about part 2 coming round. Acha.
It's time to bake more memories with Royal Baking Powder on the new season of the Tastemaster SA, starting soon on SABC2. Our overall winner will take home 50,000 Rand cash. Plus, contestants can win 50,000 Rands worth of kitchen appliances. To enter, visit thetastemaster.co.za. Share a video about yourself and why you love baking, and show us something you've baked with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder. Entries close on Monday, 25th of April. T's and C's apply.
Welcome back as we delve into financial matters and quite a polarizing little scenario here as we learned last week. I have discovered that there are two types of people in this world. Those who go shopping and buy only what they intended to buy, and those of us who get swindled by the good deals and promos and always leave with more. Time to find out what kind of a shopper you are in another round of Would You Rather. Dun, dun, dun. I thought I was one type. But then as I posted on social media last week, I'm a different
Do you
type.
remember that? The man got swindled proper.
Yeah, the deal was just too good, man. It was just too good. How much bleach does one man need? I don't know. So let me set the tone here. So you're online shopping because you only need one shirt, okay? And it costs $300, and it's a great shirt. But there's a deal where you can buy 3 great shirts for just 750 Rand. Wow. Ooh, would you rather, A, just buy the one shirt as you intended to, or B, looks like I'm buying 3 shirts, baby. All right, let's put it to our expert panel
How
first.
good are these shirts, man? Yeah, these, you know what?
And they're great shirts. Let me just remind you, they're lovely shirts. Eh?
Okay, no, fair. Look, I would normally, honestly, actually just say, nah, man, don't get swindled. You win for one, go for one.
Yeah.
But I have found myself in situations where when I have like my favorite shirt, or it gets dirty or something, I'm like, I wish I had another one. So here's that opportunity to sort myself out and cover my bases. So I don't know, this is a tricky one for me, especially if it's as good a shirt as you say. Man. I mean, come on.
It's an amazing shirt, and it's a pretty good deal. I mean, this is the reason why I wear grey T-shirts every single day.
Oh, I thought you just watched one every day.
Yeah, I thought you only had one.
Deals like this, dude.
So this is jersey number 5, huh?
Jersey number 5. Carl, are you going to be a bit more level-headed, or
I'm definitely going to be level-headed.
Take the deal, bro.
I'd love to take the deal, but the thing is, if I set out to get the one shirt for a certain purpose, I'm going to budget for that shirt. And the thing is, I know there are 2 other shirts I could wear later at a discounted rate, but then I should have set out, if I'm going to do 2 shirts, then I'm going to budget for 2 shirts.
Yeah, you see, you don't have a young child that's constantly throwing up on your shirt or putting their fingers on it.
But what if people say after the event or whatever, Carl, you looked so good in that shirt, and you'd be like, ish, nah, come on, I don't have any more.
That's fine. The thing is,
the size of the shirt a factor for you? Because what if you find the perfect fit?
You see, the thing is, if it's a fitted shirt, no, this is why I go to a tailor. So the money that I saved by getting one shirt, I use on a tailor to tailor that shirt. No, it's true. But I think that also budgeting is quite important. I think if you set out to purchase one shirt, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to go there and you're going to get the deal for the 3 shirts. Yeah. But then you're going to be like, hey, you know what? I actually need a tie for the one event. But then you're going to get the tie special.
Yeah.
And that's also, you know, instead of 1 tie for $100, you can get 3 ties for $200. Oh my word!
Yeah, and then
I need ties now.
And you're eating 2-minute noodles for the rest of the week. Let's see what the real experts had to say. Let's see what you guys weighed in with online.
Anel Faree O'Neill coming through saying, good morning, Anel. Team, if I can afford it, I will buy the 3, but only if it is shirts I can wear to work. I know with some time or other need new work clothes, so saving now is a saving in the future.
It's kind of an investment. I'm going to call it an investment.
Invest in yourself.
So the thing is, does an investment come spontaneously or planning? Because that's the thing. You arrive at the store and saw the deal. You invested by planning in the beginning when you said, I need a shirt. Just
an opportunity strikes, man.
I don't know. I'm going to play devil's advocate all day today. Cindy, Trunevald, Ferris saying, beep for me. I long time go for bargains and leave the expensive goods.
Ooh, okay. Celeste Adams also coming through saying, good morning. Hey, buy one shirt that I budgeted for, and that's how we overspend. We're thinking we're saving. Buy one, get one free. I don't believe in that.
Celeste, you see,
seriously.
that's why I'm Celeste.
I just keep thinking, like, well, if you can give one away for free, how much did you mark up the price originally? Yeah. What's going on here that we don't know?
Thank you.
Questioning the system. I like that. More comments coming through. Michelle Yasmin McDonald saying, take your money seriously using the hashtag well done, but I wouldn't buy a t-shirt for 300 in the first place. That's too expensive.
You had to.
I like that. No deal at all.
I did. Say these were amazing shirts. Okay. They were like JP Sebastian's Pineapple Express shirt with the shark eating the cat.
Oh, yeah, loves that, eh?
I know.
It's good.
It could be a 1-of-a-kind or it could be a 3-of-a-kind. You don't know. It is a difficult one, and ultimately it does boil down to, as Carl very rightly pointed out, your budget. So whether you take the deal or not, obviously totally depends on your budget for the month. And if buying 3 shirts suits that budget, then go for it. But if you don't need need 3 and only need the 1, and it makes a better money choice, then go that route. Why? Because we want you to take your money seriously and stick to your plan.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't just buy. Look out for specials. Do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money choices seriously? Join Nedbank today.
Yes, Mzansi, of course. We are carrying on with the magic right now, and standing by is a local singer, songwriter, Elizabeth Sue, and she is with us here to take us on an incredible journey. Before she gets into that, we've got something more to cover, so we'll see you straight after the break, and the magic will continue. Yes!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And of course, the culinary conundrum continues right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Earlier, we were with Chef Clem talking about all the inspiration when it comes to Eid and the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, which is celebrating the end of fast. And it's short approaching. Only about 2 more weeks roughly to go. And man, I must say, Chef Clem, the curry smelled good.
They took it away. They didn't even taste it.
What? It smelled so good though, but I already called dibs on that, so I hope they've given some. But what happens after you tuck into a good meal like that? Surely you got some dessert for the fellow.
Because you have 2 stomachs, one for your savory food and one for your dessert.
Yes, and especially after a long fast, man's just hungry. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this amazing date candies.
Okay.
Where'd they go? Someone's taking all our food. But we got it sorted. We've got something done. Okay. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna toast off our nuts. And I got pistachios, I got some cashews, and I got some almonds.
Yum.
We toast the nuts because there's oils inside the nuts.
Yes.
And when you toast them, they become more fragrant, more delicious. You taste more of it. So in a pan, not too hot, because they will burn.
And then assuming you don't even need oil because you've got natural oil coming through
you
from
want
the
to
nuts.
keep it dry. Absolutely.
Yes. And these are some quality nuts as well. Good fats, like you said, as well as protein and a lot of other good stuff to go.
Yes, so what you can do is, if you want to just have one type of nut, you can totally do that.
Yeah.
We just had quite a few, like a selection at the back. So I was like, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take this,
Could I even use like the cheaper normal peanut?
Why not?
Like when I verkoop the los peanuts op pistacie.
Why not? Take the skins off first. Take the skins off first. Actually, that's a very good... Take the skins off.
Cool.
So, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to... Nuts do burn very quickly, so we're going to keep your eye on it. This is not the time now to go walk away and to go, like, do a crossword puzzle.
Pay attention. All right.
So you'll also smell it. You'll start smelling fragrant.
Okay.
And I can...
Already?
Smell that, smell that.
Oh, Mzansi's not lying. There's like some roastiness, there's some warmth.
And that happened very quickly, okay?
Wrap me up in that.
Once you can smell that, give it a little toss. Obviously, use a spatula if you want. Then you go in with your sesame seeds.
Okay,
sesame seeds,
next.
they also have the oil in them,
Yeah.
but they tend to toast a lot faster than nuts do. So get them in just once you start smelling the nuts.
Man, you said you're going to make us like a dessert, and this is just healthy as ever. I'm impressed.
Why not?
I'm impressed.
Why not?
Yo,
okay,
nice.
so once you get the sesame seeds in there, again, I'm smelling it, everything's smelling amazing. Every now and then when I check it, I lift it off the heat, just because I don't want to give it that intense heat that it just burns. Because once it burns, it becomes a bit bitter, and you don't want this. This is a sweet dish.
Okay.
Exactly.
Hence, paying attention is important here.
Attention. So we are good. So that's going to go into our bowl. Now, also, at home, how do you store your nuts at home?
How do I store my nuts? I don't think there's any nuts left to be stored. I always just finish them. But
no, that's good.
If I was to, I sometimes earnestly keep it in a bag, or I'm trying to do this glass thing at home now. Not use plastic anymore. So I try to use glass wherever I can, and even like old glass jars, I try to recycle.
Why not?
I'm trying to just do my part, so they really come handy when it comes to storing things. And especially with nuts, it's kind of just like one of those things you put on display for everybody. They always want to grab into that. So yeah, is that the right way to store it?
It is, but if you know you're going to keep your nuts for a little longer than normal, because maybe you bought like almonds in bulk.
Yeah.
Because of the oil that's inside there, pop it in the fridge.
In the fridge?
In the fridge. It just stops those oils from going rancid. So especially if you are buying large bulk of nuts. But still, you shouldn't be keeping the nuts for too long.
What's the reason? Is it because it keeps the oil kind of cold and not allow it to kind of like move around?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So now, I've added some ghee. We love our ghee.
You love the ghee, yeah? We used ghee in the recipe earlier, right? For the butter.
We did. So we added the ghee to the pan, added some chopped dates, and added some sultanas.
Oh, nice.
You want to cook it until it starts to soften. But if it looks like it needs more ghee, or it's looking a bit dry, don't add ghee. Add a little bit, and I mean a little bit of water, okay?
Smidge of water.
There we go. You just want... See, now that's actually telling me the pan is too hot. So that water that is added is gone already, it evaporated. So what you want to do is you just want to cook this until the dates and the raisins become nice and soft.
So you want to have a bit of liquid and moisture in that, right?
You just want to hydrate them so it becomes more manageable when you start incorporating it with the nuts that you've got.
I love the fact that we're also using dates here. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
Yeah.
I know a lot of my Islamic friends always mention they break their fast with a date or two. It's packed with nutrition as well, and it's packed with so much energy, and it's such a good way to break your fast. I think it has a lot of spiritual reference to it as well. Maybe someone online can share that with us if they know a little bit more.
Give us a call. Let us know.
Give us a call if you have any more to educate us when it comes to breaking your fast, especially using dates, because I hear to be ever popular, ever spiritual, and ever rewarding when it comes to nutrition as well. And what a great way to break your fast, honestly. Chef Clem is looking good, by the way.
That's what I love about the Culinary Hotline. It's not just about us telling people. We love when you call in.
Yeah, educate us.
Educate us. You know, I dig that. Okay, so nice and soft now. I can see it's soft, and also you can see the color changing in the pan a little bit.
Good.
We get it out this way so you can all see. That's going to go join the nuts. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of salt.
Okay.
And that's just, again, to bring out the flavor of everything else, not to make it salty.
But we really got the textures here. So we've got like some of the hardness and density coming from the peanuts and the nuts themselves, and then the softness being blended through from the dates and the sultans that you've just created here. So already a texture profile that I know a lot of us are going to absolutely love.
And a little bit of vanilla.
Just a
Just a little bit. We've got quite a lot of flavor going on there already. We're going to mix it all together.
All right.
And you can see, just by cooking the dates in the pan for that little bit of time, it's become a lot softer, and it's incorporating with the nuts a lot more easier than it would if it was just in its normal state, being dried. So next step, you're going to get some plastic wrap, or seeing as Raul's also on this mission out glass, get a nice little baking tin and then pack it in there. What we're going to do is we're going to cut it into rounds, but essentially you can pack this into a little baking tin and cut them into squares.
Okay, so you can go wild and get creative with this part.
Get a cookie cutter and cut out different shapes, absolutely, whatever you want to do. But the most important thing is once you get it into that baking tin or into the sausage shape that we got over here, it has to go to the fridge to set up, and it sets up really well.
Now, I must just say, I'm salivating just at the look of this, because I'm realizing that this is really good for you. Literally, the ingredients that you're using in here is perfect. I mean, even for someone that's an athlete, even if you're not fasting, this is such a great way to prepare some healthy snacks that give you a good amount of energy, good nutrition, calorically dense, packed into a beautiful ball of goodness. This is amazing, man.
We should have done this recipe last week before the marathon.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect race fuel. Honestly, it is. And I mean, with that, an athlete is fueling themselves perfectly when it comes to nutrition. And that's exactly the same thing you should try to do after a fast as well. Immediately get some of the good stuff back in, especially after losing it throughout the day. Man, you're nailing it.
So it's Nature Boy approved.
Nature Boy approved. For sure.
So I've got this for you. I'm going to give you the serrated knife. You can cut little discs out for me.
So this is now once it's come out of the fridge, right?
And it's set up nicely.
Cool down, set up, and just cut straight through?
Yeah, you can, and just make sure... Well, I like using a serrated knife for this, because it cuts clean. Then all you have to do, let me just grab this for me, all you have to do then is just like take off the plastic. That's all you have to do. You could also, what I'm thinking about, talking about the marathon and the convenience of the shape of it, you could also shape these into little balls.
Yeah.
And just have like little pocket-sized little bites of power.
Power bites.
Power bites. Trademark coming out soon. The Woolies store near you.
Absolutely
Actually,
love
Woolies
it.
do have an amazing selection of date balls.
Oh, yeah?
And I love them.
Oh, I actually have seen them. Yeah? I'm addicted already. Count me in. There's
They
so
are
many
so
different
good.
options as well. But this is something very similar, as good as, if not possibly better. But when Chef Clem does it, you know it's always good. And you can do it too. You can head over to expressoshow.com right now. The recipe inspiration you need. And of course, again, this is also being inspired by all our Islamic family out there that is fasting and doing Eid at the moment, and with Eid al-Fitr on the way, 2 weeks away more or less, depending on the lunar calendar. This is such a great way to get the nutrition back in after a fast, and it's Nature Boy approved.
Yeah.
Another special edition, the Culinary Conundrum, solving everything when it comes to the kitchen, and of course for you, Mzansi. Well done, man. I love this. Let me try one.
A little bit of salt. A little bit of salt.
Yes.
And it's beautiful. It looks like stained glass, and I love that.
Love it. Well done. Enjoy, Mzansi.
That sounded so good. I loved it. It's beautiful, it's delicious, but it's like this performer, so talented, a local singer, songwriter, Elizabeth Sue, is back on the Expresso stage with a second performance. And this is going to be an absolute classic from Lady Gaga. She's backed up by Kyle Peterson, a producing and talented extraordinaire. We love him so much too. Don't worry, Kyle, I didn't forget about you. But this is Lady Gaga from Elizabeth Sue, A Million Reasons.
Given me a million reasons to quit the show. You've given me a million reasons to let you go. You've given me a million reasons, about a million reasons. Given me a million reasons, about a million reasons. If I had a highway, I would run for the hills. If I found a dry way, I'd forever be still. But you've given me a million reasons, about a million reasons. Given me a million reasons, about a million reasons. To pray, try to make the world seem better. Lord, show me the way to cut through all this load out there. I've got 100,000 reasons to walk away. Baby, I just need one good one to stay. It's stuck in a cycle, I look up and I stare. Like that I stop breathing but completely aware. But you've given me a million reasons, me a million reasons. Given me a million reasons, not a million reasons. If you say something that you might even need, it's hard to even fathom which part I should believe. Cause you've given me a million reasons, not a million reasons. Given me a million reasons, not a million reasons. I'm back down to pray. Try to make the work seem better. Lord, show me the way to cut through all this law now there. I've got 100,000 reasons to walk away. Baby, I just need one good one to stay. Oh, baby, but I'm bleeding, bleeding. Can you give me what I'm needing, needing? Every heartbreak makes it hard to keep the faith. But baby, I just need one good one, good one, good one, good one, good one. I'm out down to pray, try to make the world seem better. Lord, show me the way to cut through all this on out there. I've got 100,000 reasons to walk away. But baby, I just need one good one
This is beautiful. Honestly, Elizabeth Sue is wonderful. So is Kyle Peterson. We didn't forget about him. But of course, as you can hear, the songs are all connected. She sang Opstaan Prachtig and A Million Reasons. So it's A Million Reasons to Opstaan Prachtig and to stay there on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
We are back with the best of the best in the All-Star Season 10 of Tropica Island of Treasure. And we're going big!
Buy a Tropica, find your code under the cap, and stand a chance to win loads of instant prizes. Plus, if you find the treasure under the cap, you will win one of 10 big prizes. See pack for details. Tropica, nothing smoother.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here in S3. I'm so glad you stayed because I said that this English and Afrikaans singer and songwriter, the super talent Elizabeth Sue, she's with us with one more song, and all of the track titles just meant something to us on the show today. The first one, Opstaan Prachtig, A Million Reasons, and this next one is a South African classic that you will sing along to. Prime Circles, She Always Gets What She Wants. It's yours.
Woo!
Now
hope you always get what you want for the rest of your life. Elizabeth Sue, take a bow. What a talent. Thank you so much for blessing us with your gifts this morning.
I loved it.
Oh, that tone.
It's the huskiness for me, G.
Man.
I think I fall for that.
I had my eyes closed for that whole performance. Hopefully no one was recording as they often
Carl
do.
Peterson on the keys. The man is an absolute mastermind when it comes to just delivering the tones. What a beautiful combination.
Right there, guys. Thank you so much. What an awesome way to spend our morning. Just one question. How did Sadio Mane kick that?
Oh my word.
Why do you have a lot of time left?
Are we going to talk about that pass?
He's gonna set
It's
him
like
off.
his hand went into his boot and just said, yeah, take it.
And then he gave it to Shane Warne, and Shane Warne spun it and crazy stuff. Well, in honour of that incredible pass yesterday to help Liverpool, win 4-0 against Manchester United. Tomorrow is World Creativity and Innovation Day. So you know the show is going to be amazing. We're going to introduce you to some trailblazers, people that live in that creative space and that are innovating to change our world, because that's what innovation means to me. It's about making life better for the people around you.
Absolutely, yeah, for that. And another thank you to everybody that made the show today so incredible. Chef Clem on the culinary line. We had Massimo Todlana taking me through an epic fitness session. The man got me warm, and everybody else. Oh, it's been a beautiful show, guys. What
Thank you for being a part of it. The last thing it says, opstaan prachtig. Ons is lief vir jou.
Love you, bye. Bye,
Here's to the sweet taste of time off, celebrating the lust of summer, and to family memories made with love by Clover.
You really hope so.
Another feel-good production.